and welcome to Dark Days Radio presents a Darkhammer stream. We are playing Wrath and Glory, the Warhammer 40k RPG by Cubicle 7, which I've written for. I wrote for the core book, yay! Along with other wonderful Warhammer RPG content. There's lots of cool stuff out recently. We are playing Bloody Gates, which is part of a series of Wrath and Glory scenarios available from Cubicle 7 for the RPG that take place at different tiers, and you don't play the same characters. You actually play, I think in one of them, you play as Space Marines. But for this, which is the tier 1, our collected group of players here are playing Imperial Guardsmen. They are playing Astra Militarum Penal Legionnaires. They are Gilead Gravediggers. So, before we get started, I'm Chris, the GM for this game, and I'm joined by Crystal, co-host of Darker Days Radio, and writer for Onyx Path, writer developer for Onyx Path, and many other companies. We're joined also by Fiona, who is a podcaster for What Am I Rolling podcast, and also for the DM's Book Club, and also writes for a few other publications. Yeah. We've also got...
We don't mention them here, apparently, but yes, yeah.
We've also got Rob. Rob is podcasting for, of course, Realm of Fire, and has guest hosted on Darkhammer, our Worlds of Warhammer podcast. And we are joined by Rob's friend, Kat. Kat, introduce yourself briefly. What is your relation to Warhammerness?
Well, I'm far too old now, but I've been role-playing since the age of 7. Played Enemy Within all the way through. I've
Wow.
played the games for a long time.
Excellent, excellent. Brilliant. Okay, with introductions therefore done. As I said, everyone is playing Gilead Gravediggers, and I will do the quick prelude. So, of course, it is the very end of the 41st millennium, and the Great Rift has torn asunder the galaxy, splitting in half, and one half has fallen into chaos and the predations of various Xenos races, orcs, and the Chaos Space Marines and heretics. And on that side of the Great Rift is the Gilead subsector or system, which has recently been accessed by a rogue trader fleet led by the Lord Rogue Trader Veronius. Of course, being cut off from the Imperium, warp travel is not readily available to get there, and this system is on the brink of collapse there, and the appearance of a rogue trader and other forces of the Imperium in his fleet has also caused a little bit of chaos and distrust, as governors and nobles of these worlds are clearly seeing an opportunity for power and distrust of these other groups that have come from the Imperium. Because of this chaos and potential for rebellion, on the hive world of Gilead Primus, which is basically a desolate hellhole, there are just these various mile-high spires home to billions of people. There is one hive city called Tora Armis, which has fallen to rebellion, and outside of it is fierce fighting, and no one knows what's exactly happened within the city walls. And from an orbital dropship landing down and carried aboard a Chimera APC, you have your group, your fire team 123-B, of these penal legionnaires. You have obviously been conscripted into battle because you've committed a crime of some form. You're carried in the APC across a sea of sulfur and various other toxic mineral waste. It is luminous green, and if it were not for the armored shell of the Chimera, you would most probably be having layers of your skin taken away by this acidic soup. The APC comes ashore, and you are now in front of the walls of the barricade wall. I say barricade; it's a very high barrier wall before the main the main hive spire. There's, of course, many explosions, las fire everywhere, pinging off the Chimera's hull. And before we get into that, we're going to quickly do a little bit of a flashback, just as you get disgorged from the APC, running towards your objective. We'll go back to as you're falling through the void of space in the dropship, and you're all strapped into the APC. Mostly feeling your stomach lurch as anti-gravity gives way to zero gravity, and then the pull of the world below you. Who are you? I'm sure you're all sat looking at each other with worried glances, like this was not what you signed up for, because, well, you didn't sign up for the Astra Militarum. So we'll start with Rob. Who are you? What do you look like? What are you doing?
So Crass is a very small man. Very almost he's got no hair on his body that you can see. He's the squad melter gunner. These two things might be in correlation. He's covered in burns. He looks like a chef after a very hard shift. He's got quite dark skin. There is just burn marks all over him. Then there's like white scarring from fresh burns. Crass is he's got a chip on his shoulder because he's in the Penal Legion, not through his own fault. His regiment was deemed to have failed in a particular mission, so all 1,228 members were placed into the Penal Legion, and as far as he's aware, Crass is the last one alive. Bit of a death wish, bit of a suicide risk taker, but yeah, it's Crass, and he's quite, in a way, he's kind of already given up, so he's quite jolly, actually, on the way down. And he's checking and rechecking his beloved melter gun, just to check. And occasionally when the ship shakes, you'll hear an utterance of his favourite curse, which is Emperor's Testes, as they go down.
Okay, Crystal.
All right, so Tess Engelhart is a sniper in training, and her previous regiment was very much like Crass. She was the only one left standing, except she was actually found at fault for the fall of the regiment and therefore placed here as punishment. And so she is salty as hell and basically wants to just get back to where she's training and perfecting her art so that she can just be left alone and do what she does best.
Okay. Kat.
So Rhea she's a big girl. She's a large lady, real grizzled old vet with scars and tattoos all over her. She made it out the first time. She did a great job, got back home, went to work as a soup in the meatpacking factory, very protective of her own. But then there was a rumour that somebody was unionising. Not her, doesn't matter. She ended up back here anyway. Now she just wants to get home.
Excellent. And Fiona.
Okay, so I'm playing Ophelia, and I want you to imagine your grandmother, essentially, with as much sort of like, again, they're sort of very small and twee, even by Crass's standards, but it's just constantly fiddling with a whole range of sort of grenades. It's looking very happy and just like sort of like guns, explosives. Sort of her backstory is that she was like the last one standing in her previous unit. No idea how, but she's there. So they're like, oh god. And also there's sort of a recent recruit as well. We think they may be brought out of retirement perhaps, and it's just like, one for the road. And that sort of attitude. Nothing sort of phases her. She's got like something for every occasion, essentially, and that's Ophelia.
Okay, sat near you is also a gruff-looking Imperial Guardsman. Her name is O'Garan. At least that's what it says on her shoulder patch. And she just leans over to Crest like, "You brought your grandma with you? How are you guys going to survive even 15 minutes on the battlefield?"
We're not meant to. Only in death does duty end.
You're crazy. You're crazy. Whereas me and my friends, we've known each other for ages. We're gonna bring ourselves through this. We're all badass. All badasses. You look like something found on the boot of Reboot Gilliam's own suit of Space Marine armor.
So I'm going to spit on the floor at this. Say, we'll see who survives, girl.
See you on the front lines.
Don't forget, success is measured in blood. Ours or the enemy. Excellent.
As you're obviously, making your way towards the battlefield, there are some rumors of what's happened in the hive that you're going to, free or retake. Apparently, the rumors are that the insurrection happened rather quickly, and that the reason you know this is that Ogaran is a hiver herself. She comes from Hive Golgotha on the same world. You learn from overhearing other conversations that she and her fire team all know each other because they were illegally distributing rations to an unsanctioned choir group.
Well.
It's a motivation I can respect.
Crystal, you have a data slate in front of you which pings up with your mission parameters, and on it reads, Orders. Filthy rebels hold the Torah Armis Spire. They are dug in and well armed. The 3rd Company of the 43rd Mechanized Division is to advance under the cover of artillery fire and deploy the Penal Brigade to capture or destroy the defensive positions on the dam, using grapple lines and satchel grenades. Fireteam 123B are to assault the walls at Sigma 7, destroy the gun emplacement at Delta 5, and await reinforcements. Holomap transmission follows. Vox communication with company comms is on channel 18. Of course, that is your mission. So, amongst the other equipment that you've got, one of you is carrying a grapple launcher, and the other one, I think it might be Ophelia, may well have a further satchel of demo charges just for this mission.
Next to her bag of knitting, yeah.
So, cutting back to, you have just been disgorged from the Chimera, and you are running towards the wall. The dam wall is 30 meters high, and at the top you can see that there is intermittent las fire being shot out from the defensive positions out onto the beach below. Obviously, these shots are wildfire, and at that range, they have relatively little success on penetrating even flak armor. So, what are you doing? What's your plan? You have your objective. What do you want to get done?
How much cover is between us and our objective?
There are foxholes. There's some rubble. There is the odd. There may be a chimera that's burnt out, but nothing else.
Okay. And are Ganon's team in front of us or behind us?
They've headed off in a slightly different direction.
Okay.
They've got a completely different objective to you.
Just can always use bodies as sandbags. So yeah, it's just thinking aloud.
There's no high places for me to go.
There's nowhere high for you to stand, and if you are going to shoot anyone, they are likely at the very top of that damn wall.
Okay.
We're up, boys and girls. Let's plot a course.
Let's go.
Have a look. We're going to try and dodge from cover to cover to get close to our objective.
Excellent. Okay. As you're doing this, then all of you can make a difficulty 4 awareness check. So roll your awareness, and you need to get 4 or more successes.
Yeah.
Got an awareness of 2, so no.
Oh.
One success.
Yeah, that's not
Two
happening.
successes. Two successes. That's
I
2
got-
dice.
Yeah, I got a 6 on my Roth die because that's the only one I'm rolling.
Okay, so you could that can go in your glory pool. So let's put that in your glory because it's not going to do much else. Crystal, how many successes did you get?
I got 1 success.
I'm gonna give you a further 2 dice to roll because obviously you've got a scope on your long las, so you can, you can aim it at the top of the wall and see if there's anyone there.
No, 3s on both of them.
So you don't spot anyone. You can't see where the gunfire's coming from. You just every so often hear a las blast sping off the ground next to you. You keep running towards the wall, and you eventually make it to the sheer, plaster steel wall that rises very high above you at a steep slope. Who is going to try and ascend it? Who's going to fire the grapple launcher? Be aware, the grapple launcher is only strong enough for one person to go up at a time.
If we blew the dam, what would happen?
You don't have enough explosives to blow a hole in the dam. You would really need... It would take a demolisher cannon on a Lehman Russ quite a few shots to get through.
Right, sure.
Let me have that one.
Not enough XP
why not?
for that. Yeah. Go on then, Rhea. Are you going up?
First and foremost. Right,
Okay.
off we go.
So who's going to fire the grapple?
I'm happy to fire the grapple.
Okay,
go for it.
so that's a ballistic skill check, difficulty 3.
Ooh.
So that's only 1 icon, I'm afraid.
You fire it, and of course it doesn't latch onto anything, and you're going to have to start winching it back in. And as this happens, then unfortunately you've clearly got the attention of someone at one of the emplacements at the top of the damn wall, and they start shooting down at you. They're at very long range though, so the likelihood of them hitting is going to be very low. What's the defense of everyone?
5.
Defense 5.
5?
Yeah, I got base is 2, and then armor is 3, the flak armor.
That's resilience.
That's
Your
resilience.
Ignore that then. No, I don't have
your
anything.
defense
I've got my
is your
backpack on.
initiative -1, so it'll be
That's
2.
right. Yeah,
probably.
nothing. Yeah, 0.
Initiative -1, so 0. Is your initiative 1?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think so.
No, Fiona, that's intelligence.
Then it's
Initiative is the
I'll
single
get there
eye.
eventually, guys. This is why I should
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
I'm at 2 as well. There we go. I've worked it out.
Yeah.
We got there.
Okay.
We got there. Thank you.
Yeah.
So has everyone basically
We
got?
should have used raft dice for Rhea to re-roll.
we know
or
for
whatever.
next time.
Yeah.
I'm just rolling for everyone, and yep. Okay, Crass, you get hit by a las shot at long range. What's your armor? Total resilience? 7.
Total resilience is 7. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just need to roll that. You take 1 point of damage. So you can either
that's
try
a
and
wound.
take it as shock.
Oh yeah.
So roll your shock rating. What is it?
It's determination, is it?
Determination.
Determination. Yeah, and you can convert that
Yeah.
wound into shock.
Okay. Now I did get a 6, but I also rolled a 1 on my raft die.
So it does convert, and I will take
Okay.
that point of I will take
And you're
a
going to
point
take
of
it as
ruin.
ruin.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Take the shot
So
to the
while that's
shoulder.
going on, obviously Crystal, that's great for you. You know where they are now, so you can mostly give some covering fire while another attempt is done with the grapple launcher. So, Crystal, if you want to do a shot with the long las.
I do. All right. Let's see here.
Let's see. You're gonna need to get at least. You need to get 3 successes to hit because they're obviously in
Okay.
cover.
I'm using my larger dice. They keep falling on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 successes.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow.
And the damage on a long las is pretty.
It's 10.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna need to you don't even need to roll extra damage or anything. Yeah, you catch one of the rebels firing at you, and they drop out of sight, as clearly you must have hit them square in the body. Obviously, there's still wildfire being shot down at you, as another attempt is done with the grapple launcher, I guess. Then, so
Yeah,
I guess Rhea's
bitch!
gonna fire again. Remember, you
Oh,
do have a
man.
point of glory as well in the glory pool, so if you want, you could spend that and get an extra die on this roll.
I've got 5 dice in my dice pool. I'm just rolling appallingly. So I've got 1 icon there. I might actually spend one of my wrath points to
Okay.
reroll all my fails.
Yeah, please.
Do it. That sounds good.
Roll over a 4. Come on.
Yeah,
get
you
a
don't
foot,
want
get a
to.
foot.
You want to get shot again? Okay, nice. So that's 4 icons.
Nice.
But
Excellent.
a 1 on the wrath dice.
Oh, great. Okay. Okay. I need to think what I might do for that.
Good job, dearie. Ow!
Let's keep that for now. Okay, good. The grapple launcher, it fires, and you with a tug, it's clearly in place, and now you can start your ascent. So whichever order you want to go, it will take a athletics test to climb, difficulty 3. Don't fall.
That's probably fine. Well, so I'm guessing that going up first is probably going to be most dangerous. So
Off you go.
sure. Well, that's one success.
1 success. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're part way up, so you're still struggling as you're climbing, and as that's going on,
They put a rope.
they're going to. Someone is exactly doing that. Someone is running over to. You see someone break cover to run over to where the grapple has locked in, to start cutting it, and obviously they're going to start shooting again. So firing at you because you're dangling in the midair. They completely miss. The one's firing at Rob also misses. The one firing at Ophelia completely misses. And there will be one more firing at Crystal, and they also miss. Meaning everyone can, if they want, they can shoot up at the bunker, or obviously start climbing if you think risk it and see if the cable can take your weight.
I'll follow Rhea up because I've got a melter gun, so I know I have got a las gun as well, but I want to use my melter gun. Ophelia, what's the range on your grenade launcher?
She looks into her notes. The furthest range is 42. Whatever that means. I assume not meters. I assume like yards. It just says 42 on the range.
It's longer range than a las gun then, so you should be able to get a grenade up there.
Am I getting permission to use it already?
Yeah,
you don't need to ask
may as well
permission.
go on then. So a frag grenade straight
Okay.
Our
into
fire
placement.
team is a very flat command structure.
I mean, how long do you think we're going to live?
Okay. I get out the big knitting bag, pull it out like Mary Poppins' bag, and I'll roll the dice pool for it.
Okay, it's at long range, so
Yes.
I can't remember what the modifier for long range is. It's mostly
please
+1
tell me,
difficulty.
So I just don't want to hit Rhea. So I'm just leaning comically to one side. A massive grenade launcher compared to me.
Bolt weapons, no, that's no good.
Yeah, +1 for short and +2 difficulty number for long.
Yeah, okay, there we go. So +1, so you're going to need a 4 to hit.
No problem. Right. Well, there's 1 success so far. I'm going to use one of my wrath points to re-roll the failed dice.
You only got 1 4+.
Ah?
You only got 1 4+.
Out of 6, I only rolled 1 4. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Hang on, it's jammed.
What have we done to the Emperor? No wonder we're in the penal region.
Not great. That's 3 total successes.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 total successes.
so
did you want to
didn't-
spend? Oh, there's no glory in the glory pool.
Lot of ruin.
Sorry.
There's
Watch out! I say as it's already gone.
so you fire it. It doesn't go into the in through the bunker into the bunker. Obviously, it's well defended. It explodes on the outside of it, showering it with explosive and shrapnel. You do catch the person that though was breaking cover to go cut the cable wire, and they get thrown over the wall, and you just watch them land in a wet kind of mess
Ooh.
near
Oh
you.
dear.
Um,
Fine.
Rob, what do you want to do?
He's gonna make a break. He's gonna sling his melter gun and go up after Rhea.
Okay, and Rhea needs to. Kat, you need to roll for Rhea to continue her ascent.
Die roll as well.
Yep. So it's an athletics test again.
That's better. 3 successes.
Hey.
Okay.
2 for me.
Yeah. So you both make it up there, and you're on the top of the dam wall now. And that's the end of that round, basically. You can see the entrance to the where the traitors are firing from, the emplacement at the top of the dam. There is obviously across the top of the dam, the placer steel is pot marked with explosions. There are foxholes and there's razor wire strewn across it. So making it through that is quite treacherous because there is plenty of razor wire, and God knows how many people might be hidden in amongst that. So, what do you want to do? Who wants to climb up the grapple line next?
I'll turn to Tess and go, I have you covered.
I was actually going to suggest that you go because I have longer range.
Oh, that makes so much. Oh, good job, dearie. So yeah, I'll climb up next whilst Tess is giving me covering fire.
This fire team is very equal opportunities, isn't it?
Really.
All genders, all range, all ages.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
welcome.
All at the bottom.
Yeah.
I'll have an equal opportunity to die.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
So Ophelia needs to make a athletics test.
Athletics. She's not bad for an old bird, I will say. She's a bit wiry. Yeah. Oh, that's 5 successes. 5
Nice.
successes.
Do you have any
Nice.
excess exalted icons?
I've got- So I've got 1 6 that's on the normal dice. So I don't know if that makes anything.
That's you could bank that for glory then.
I'll bank that so that we
Yep.
have that back in the pool. Yep.
Good. Okay. You make it up to the top, and you get your grenade launcher ready to fire. And then with the shooting, then we'll let those that are inside the bunker are not going to, because they've obviously been shaken by the the crack grenade that went off. But there are those who've noticed you on top of the dam in those foxholes, and they start shooting back at you. So again, one of them is shooting at Rhea and completely misses, and the next one's shooting at Rob. And what's your defense, Rob?
2.
2. That is a hit.
Oh, flipping out.
And we'll shift that for extra damage.
Oh.
And you take it's just 7 damage. So
My resilience is 7.
so yeah, pings your flak armor soaks the las blast.
Yeah.
We'll let one
He's
of them
getting
shoot
him.
Granny as well.
I'm like, I get up, I'm
Ooh.
like,
Granny
no.
is hit by a critical hit as well.
Oh,
Um,
I love Granny.
So let's see.
day out for her.
A critical hit. There we go. Critical hit. Critical hits table is there.
Die.
Yeah.
Granny gets a 56. Bone
that's not so
shattering
good.
impact.
Oh, no.
The hit of it, basically, it slams you to the ground, and you suffer an extra. You suffer 2 wounds straight away, and from the shot, you'll because you've got the same. What's your resilience? Your resilience should be 7
Mine
as
is
well.
7 as well. Yeah.
So you take 3 wounds in total.
Oh shit! Okay.
Do you want to roll your determination and soak it as?
Yeah, why not? More.
Okay, so roll your determination, and that
Yes.
any successes each success turns a wound point into a shock.
Stupid question. Where is determination on the character sheet?
It is to the very
Survival
right
box
where.
on the right.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Survival box on right hand side, midway down, divided into quadrants. Shock is the lower right quadrant.
Well, so it's the smallest.
That's what
it's the smallest thing ever. Thank you. I'm just like.
It's equal to your toughness
It is. So yeah, it's free.
plus any bonuses you have.
Yeah, that's right. Cool. All right. So, and do I roll a wrath
just-
dice with that as well?
No
Just
wrath
straight.
die on that. It's just regular dice.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. I get 1 6 and 1 4, so 3 successes.
Okay, so all the damage is turned into shock.
Okay, great. Hooray.
And your maximum shock is your
Way.
will plus your tier, so that
So
should be about
that's
3.
also 3 as well.
Okay, so
Oh,
you're
no.
basically just gritting your teeth as you've been shot, but you've not been injured.
No.
Which is good. You know, it's better to
Yeah.
be, wanting to look for cover than dead. So when your shock is maxed out, or I think it's once you go over it, it means basically you're kind of exhausted.
This feels so tiring.
When we find the
Need to lie
combat
down
bleeding,
With some
bleeding
bourbon, some
injuries,
tea.
conditions, determination, blah 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 blah. Shock. If you suffer more shock than your maximum shock, you become exhausted. There you go.
Cool.
Okay.
All
cool.
right.
So you're not exhausted yet.
No.
Good. Okay.
Great.
So it's it'll be Tess. I guess you can't actually see anyone in the bunker to shoot at unless you're quite lucky. So we'll say it's going to be a difficulty. Let's call it difficulty 5. Someone is mostly trying to poke their head out to look if it's safe.
Okay.
Let's see if you can pot shot someone.
On Tess.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Whee!
Yeah, you quite happily. Someone pops their head out over cover and pew, straight between the eyes, and they drop out of sight. Excellent. At the top of the walls, then, what would Rhea and Crass want to do? Of course, because you've got all this razor wire in the way, it's not very easy to run forward and just, get into combat with them or get close enough to shoot them easily. Of course, there is a weapon that is very good for clearing the way of
Yes,
razor
I was about to
wire
say,
and
can
melting
I-
it into toffee, and that
Yes.
is the melter gun.
Melter gun of Crass, and it's definitely not going to explode in his face. So yeah, I'm going to try and clear a path for Rhea, basically.
Wow.
Just
Yes.
fire through as far at range, just to try and clear as much as possible.
Excellent. Go on then.
Right, here we go. This is where I roll a lot
Difficulty
of ones.
to hit the targets is difficulty 4 because they're in
Sure.
cover.
Yeah.
But even if you miss, you will clear away a whole
Yeah,
channel of razor wire.
That's
Yeah,
the
come on.
plan. Is that bit? Yes, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 6, a 4, and a 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've hit the target.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Shall I roll for damage?
Do you really need to? It's
Yeah,
a
it's got a lot
melter
of
gun.
fun. A lot of fun. They're taking 18 damage. Whoever gets in
Yeah,
the face.
okay.
Of that.
You basically there's the high pitched whine of the melter gun, as essentially, because the way the melter gun operates is it takes fuel inside it, superheats it with a microwave, and then essentially with microwaves, and then channels it straight forward. So it's not really a flamer, it's not really a plasma gun. It's somewhere in the middle. And just this channel of raw heat goes straight forward, melts the razor wire before you, so it's just molten slag, scorching the earth before you, and some poor heretic looks above the top of the foxhole and has their head all the way down to their shoulders just melted away. You know, you've seen the bits, like, again, it's like in Hellraiser, but in reverse when Frank comes back. Like, it's like watching wax melt. It is.
I sort of, as I fire it, I take my eyes off and grin at Rhea, which means I put my hand at the wrong bit and give myself another burn on the hand. So I touched the wrong bit of the gun. Just
I'm too old for this shit.
yeah. Yeah, cleared you a path. Just watch your feet.
Excellent. Yeah, so yeah, Rhea, you've now got a clear path to charge forward if you want. Jump into that foxhole and have
Right,
your way.
you bastards! Get out the chainsword. Take a charge action. And go and fuck this shit up.
Yeah, so you charge forward. So charging is going to give you a nice +2 dice, I believe, on the attack. Let's just quick reference here. Blah 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 blah. Advanced actions, no attacks, range attacks, melee attacks. Charge. Full round action to run. Make a melee attack with +1 bonus die to your attack test. So yeah, that's basically it. You charge forward, jumping into the foxhole. You've thumbed the ignition on the chainsword and just roll to attack.
5 successes.
Well, that's a hit, obviously. They've got a defense of 2. Do you have any exalted icons that you can shift?
I do. I have one to shift.
Okay, so that's a further extra damage die. And a chainsword is strength plus something ridiculous.
Strength +5. My strength is 3, so that's 8 damage plus 4 extra damage dice.
Okay, and I think the chainsword is brutal, so your extra damage dice do count as 6s, count 5s and 6s as... Sorry, a 3 and a 4 are a success, a 5 and a 6 are 2 successes, so...
That's 4 on my extra damage then.
That's 4 on your extra damage, plus the base damage, which is something ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, you jump down on them and the chainsaw just bites into their shoulder and rips them in half. Excellent. So that's that round done. It's then background. I guess it's either who wants to go first, because one of you will go first, and then the heretics, and then the rest of you will go next. So Tess is on the ground. Is still got to climb up.
I was say, could I start climbing?
Yeah, get Tess up here.
Yeah, Tess, you get out of the. You're definitely most vulnerable.
Yep.
I am going to climb. I got 2 successes.
Okay, so you're halfway up, hanging there perilously. As at that moment, the those heretics still inside the emplacement start shooting at you. The first one misses, and the second one misses, and there's only one more in there that can shoot because he killed enough. Also misses, so there's a whole lot of las fire just blasting around you as you're dangling in the midair. Who wants to go next?
Get a grenade in there, and that'll clear them all out in one go.
Yeah, I'll sort of. I'll sit up and like.
Isn't Rhea in there?
I thought you were
going.
No,
Rhea's not in the bunker yet, and there are more foxholes ahead of you with more heretics in there. So, Ophelia can quite happily, arc a grenade over the top of Rhea's head and blow apart more people.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll sit up like. Okay, round 2. Watch out, Rhea! Duck, dearie. Okay, so this is. Is there any? Oh no, it doesn't matter. It's me rolling the same dice.
Yeah. It's
cool.
a difficulty 4 to hit because they're in.
That was it.
Cover.
Yeah, that was it. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of 6s there. There's 3 6s and a 6 on the raft dice, including 6 on the raft dice. So that's
brutal.
6 in total.
And a 6 on the wrath dice, so that's
yes.
That's another point of glory automatically.
Yeah, put that into the pool.
Yeah.
For free. And also the other thing to say is you can use glory to do some special actions to call for reinforcement or other things. They're somewhere in here. I'll find them when you feel like you might need some support.
I think
So
I just go on.
Would that be something like a random shell from one of our battleships?
Yeah,
happens
you
to hit
can.
at this
Yeah, you
point
can
or
call.
something
You can
like-
call for support basically. So one of you is obviously carrying a Vox link. Most probably Tess because she's got the long
Sniper.
las and sniper, so can communicate exactly where like a mortar needs to be fired at. But yeah, you've hit Fiona. You've hit. You're
Yep.
using your crack grenades because you want to get fragmentation.
Yep,
The
yep.
damage on a frag grenade is something like 10.
On a frag grenade. Oh, I did have it. Where's it gone?
It's something like
10.
10.
It's 10. That's it. Yeah. Sorry, I
Yeah.
had them on there and I just completely ignored it. Yes, a 10.
Yeah, we don't
That's
really need to
480.
roll for damage. It's going to land amongst them, and you just watch 2 or 3 heretics blown apart, arcing through the air. One of them screams. Wilhelm's scream goes off as they fall over the edge of the dam yet again. Of course, though, your good work has made the razor wire even more hellish to pass, as it is now an even greater tangled mess.
I help.
Who wants to go next? I guess I'm thinking, Rob, you want to blast another.
I want to try and blast through the hole.
Get rid of this difficult
Yeah.
terrain.
Yeah. I'm
You're
basically
going to move
try and
forward into the foxhole and fire your melter.
fire another melter towards an enemy foxhole to give
Yeah.
Rhea the best possible charge. But let's see. No, fucked it. A single success.
A single
So I
success. So
think-
it's a miss. You're not going to hit anyone, but you do
No.
blast away a hole through the razor wire,
Right, yeah,
giving Rhea somewhere to charge through.
good.
Okay.
Right, so I'm just gonna wipe away like the actual hand that's obscuring my vision. Just like throw that to one side,
Right.
wipe the blood off me. My Emperor.
Excellent.
So that is okay. Let's do this. Oh, excellent. So that is, well, it's 4 successes, and a 6 on the Roth die.
Whee!
Wow. Yay.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm just checking what fun weapons there are that this person might carry. But you've definitely hit. And a 4 on Wrath die, did you say?
That's right.
Okay,
So-
cool. So you've hit. Okay, good. Can you shift any damage? Shift to any? Well, they've only got defense of 2. So if you can shift an exalted icon to damage, if you can.
Yeah, I've got one to shift.
Okay, good. Yeah, you're attacking someone that's in that foxhole who looks a little bit better put together. They've got their flak armor looks more like your flak armor, so they look like they were part of the local planetary defense force. Though they've also got a red cross painted over any of the Imperial Aquila emblems on their armor, and they're brandishing an auto pistol and what looks like a very heavy wrench that they as they see you jump into the foxhole with them, are going to club them around the head with it. Of course, though, you've got a chainsword.
Sit down, boy.
So did you roll your extra damage there?
I did, yeah. So that is standard damage is 8 plus 2 extra damage.
Okay, yeah. And it connects with their wrench and slices through it, and then rips off their arm, and they die from the shock and blood loss.
From sitting
Given
down.
that there has been seeing their commander fall, any of the other heretics nearby, they pop their head out from above the wall, and they lay down the weapons. Enough! We give up! We surrender!
We should open fire. There's no, you don't surrender.
One of them
We're
has got
heretic.
on the end of their auto gun a what looks like a dirty white flag made from their t-shirt or something.
We should shoot all of them except the one with the flag, I would say. We're not going to
They've
take prisoners,
surrendered.
are we?
Surrender is weakness in the eyes of the Emperor.
Yeah, that's what I said. I would say put them to the lads and the chainsaw, except the one with the flag.
You're just going to annihilate them all as they stand.
They're just men, Crass. They've just made mistakes.
Okay.
Ignorance is no excuse in the eyes of the Emperor.
The text here says if the fire team shoot the remaining heretics there, it says the rest of the rebels decide to fight it out. However, I don't think there's many of them left actually to make that viable, and so essentially, yes, you do execute them there on the spot, either with a las shot to the head or a melter gun that basically blows a hole through their chest, and they slump down dead. You head towards your objective is the bunker and to destroy any gunning placements there or anything else, and you head towards it. But before, as you go past the heretics that are now obviously that you've executed, you do realize that some of them, definitely one of them, is showing signs of mutation. Their leg is swollen and almost an amphibian in nature, scaly skin and webbed feet.
Well, shit.
See, signs of the enemy all around us. Any signs of mutation, I'm going to hit with a low blast just to incinerate it, basically.
You can incinerate it.
Anything obvious like that, just like if there's a webby foot, I'll be like, just to remove it from the world.
So you head along the wall of the. You head along the wall of the dam, past the emplacement where you were firing at, Crystal. There are a few. As you catch up with the others, everyone you've basically just executed everyone inside there. But further down the dam, you see your main objective, which is Delta 5. It is a battery of autocannons. These huge, this emplacement of autocannons is firing shells straight out over the lake, and you can see that where they hit, they're again downing chimeras or other amphibious vehicles that are carrying some of the larger tanks to the shore. So that's your objective, is to take out that gun emplacement. How do you want to do it? Obviously, there is razor wire as you go, but of course, you do have plenty of grenades, plenty of crack grenades as well, and you do have a melter gun. Or you could do it really quietly and go in there and do it up close and use the melter and a chainsword while also popping people's heads off. What would be your plan?
Do we have the opportunity to rest up for a second just after our
Yeah, you can get a
drop,
breather.
and then,
yeah, you
just
can recover shock.
Yeah, Ophelia needs a little sit down.
Yeah, like I've been like, hang on, whew, hang on. Like as you're executing people, I'm like, oh, we've made a bit of a mess.
I'm assuming I make it up the rest of the way, right?
Yeah, you're definitely up there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just still hanging on. Yeah,
just guys.
guys.
I can snipe from down here. Trust me.
So if someone's got the that's for wounds. Blah 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 blah.
I mean, I'd take something for the wounds as well, because I'm not looking great.
Coward.
I'm like that bit going, is it supposed to do this, dear? Like blood.
Okay, any of you can spend a point of wrath if you have it to restore your shock equal to your rank plus tier. So you can restore a point of shock using wrath.
I mean, I can do that for myself, so I'm happy to do that.
Did we start with Wrath? Sorry.
Yeah, you start with 2 points of wrath.
Right. Okay.
Oh, I completely
Nice.
forgot about that.
I
Yeah.
will do that then. I'll spend one of my Wrath to get rid of my shock. So I have 1 Wrath and 0 shock. Cool.
Yeah. Same.
So I'm going to use the opportunity to crack out a cigar.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Very important.
a classic tox stick.
Would there be a way for the 3 of them to be able to sneak in while I get cover?
You could take cover and just start drawing fire of anyone as a distraction, and just start pot shotting anyone that you can see inside the bunker.
Because then they can get close enough to be able to use their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay,
All right.
good. We'll do that because I want to speed past this part, because I think if you've got a good enough plan, I want to reward you for it. So, as you go, you start firing then, Crystal. Tess starts shooting from cover. Again, you're not having to make sure you actually hit anyone, but you're just trying to be threatening. The others, you're all going to have to make either athletics tests or survival tests to make it past the razor wire.
Right.
What
Go
do I
for
put?
athletics.
Athletics 5, survival 3. So athletics.
Yeah, athletics it is.
Ooh, 4. Got 2 6s, so 4 altogether.
Okay, good. Yeah,
2 for me.
You've yep. You're getting past that. And as you're picking your way across the top of the dam, you realise that in amongst the rubble and hidden under bodies are frag bombs. The place has been mined.
Oh shit.
So-
Any possibility of disarming, or are there just too many of them?
There's a lot to disarm.
Right.
So essentially, don't fail, and really, really don't like mess up on the wrath die. But anyway, you've snuck over, and you're past the razor wire and past the mines, and you're outside of the emplacement, outside of the bunker, ready to do your work. Did Ophelia get past okay?
Yeah, I got 5.
Wow.
2 6s. So
Nice.
yeah,
Excellent.
I think you're
Okay.
the one that discovers the mines.
I'm like,
You're
dearie.
You're
Like,
outside
ow.
then. You're outside the main door to the emplacement, and you can hear the thunderous roar of the autocannons firing. It's just a case of kicking in the door, isn't it?
Pretty much. And especially if we time it to a particularly, like if they're firing on volley fire, we wait for the loudest moment, and that's when we go in.
Yeah.
Just to give us a modicum of stealth before melter explosions and Rhea gets whoever's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go first. I got a key.
Is the key your boot, dearie?
You could do that, or I mean, you could kick it open and just roll a frag grenade in first. It is an enclosed space.
Yeah, roll the frag grenade in, then you finish them off, Rhea.
Yeah. And that's what happens. You're the one that kicks in the door with the chainsaw ready, just in case someone walks out. The door slams open. Ophelia takes the pin out of a grenade, rolls it in. The frag grenade explodes. Smoke comes up. Tess, you shoot someone that's clawing for air as they're trying to get out of one of the gun slits, and you then rush in, and it's just the sound of a chainsaw going off, or a melter gun again blasting someone apart, and also blasting a hole through the bunker.
Yeah.
As the
And
smoke
proof guns.
clears and the screams end, inside the bunker, there's the large fixed autocannons and piles of ammunition for it. Well, there would have been piles of ammunition. That all went off as part of the initial explosion, and a lot of people were caught by those shells as they were pinging around inside.
Like popcorn.
Yeah. But what you do see on the lower level of the bunker where they were keeping other supplies and, you know, the latrine and so forth, you find a small shrine in the corner. And it consists of a statue of the Emperor who's been laying down on its face. And on its back, painting in red, are the phrases, "He has fallen, we will rise." And then those have been repeatedly either painted or gouged into the statue's back. You also find down there rations. There's bottled water, rations. The rations are in the silver packs embossed with the Imperial Eagle. There are protein snacks, and there's also some what you find is tasty mushroom bread,
which is completely fine.
It's
don't
completely
worry about
fine.
it.
Totally
There are
fine.
also
that.
printed out as if it's been printed from a dot matrix. Are the orders for this bunker? Rebels' orders. Those of you who will be first to face the foe, I salute you. The enemy approaches our gates, just as the Emperor approaches the gates between death and life. But while the fallen Emperor shall find the gates of death open to him and pass through them and be reborn, our foes find our gates closed to them forever. Put all thoughts of retreat from your mind. Take not one step. Pour fire upon the advancing apostates, and know that your sacrifice heralds the coming of a new Imperium. He has fallen, we shall rise. Commander Kravax, defender of the lower levels.
Crass is disgusted by all of this. This is everything against his beliefs, and he actually kind of the first time shows a bit of care and lifts up the statue of the Emperor and places it so it's not face down, like he almost reverentially does that, and that's the first time he's not set something on fire, basically.
Interesting. So
Right, I'm gonna pick up some of these ration packs.
yeah. Beyond this bunker and beyond the dam wall, the dam then, rather than being a sheer drop, it slopes down until it reaches beyond it. There's a 2-meter high power conduit that takes energy from the dam somewhere, where the dynamos and turbines are, so it funnels energy to the hive. And if you head in that way, there's plenty of cover and for you to get your breath, because obviously your next objective beyond here is the very gates of the hive itself.
Should we try and cut the power conduit?
It's not in your orders to do so.
It's not in our orders.
It's not in your orders, no.
But it's not in our orders, is it?
No, it's not. It's not in your orders, no.
It's not in our orders. So therefore,
So, as you're heading in that direction, Tess, your data slate lets out a ping, and you pull it out. You pull out your Imperial version of a really old iPad, but worse, because it's monochrome, and it has new orders. Listen up. From here up to the spire proper is just 1,000 meters. Our armor will make quick work of the defenses, but the rebel filth have littered the area with anti-tank mines. Your target is this location, and the next page has a small kind of it actually is a full hololith of the battlefield. Your target is in this location, Delta 9. Get out there, locate the mines, disarm them if you can, and mark them if you can't. Then get back to this location, and it pings it up in it with a green triangle, and lead the tanks to their positions. If one of those tanks gets as much scratched, there'll be another 5 years in the brigade for you. Commissar Shrake. So your orders are to clear out the minefield, or at least put flags in it.
At least it's
no problem,
anti-tank
Commander.
this time. Yeah.
That's our specialty. All right, I will start making my way to the group, following the massive burn marks and litters of bodies to mark my way.
Yeah.
And pass this information along to them before they start cutting the power.
Well, at least it's anti-tank. Last time it was anti-personnel, so
Yeah,
always
it's
looking
probably
up.
fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Ophelia, I think this is your area, isn't it?
Knuckles. Okay. What? Yeah, I can try. Just watch
how
this
many
lob
more
a grenade.
I would say, how many more grenades do you have?
I've used 3. I have 3
She's
of the
got
other
plenty.
kind. I've got
There were
plenty.
more in
There's
here,
another.
weren't there?
I still pocket in my knitting bag. I'm fine.
I was gonna say, would the mines go off if we put grenades strategically?
I mean,
You
it'd be like
could-
a mouse trap. You throw it and it goes. Well,
Yeah, could it like mousetrap possibly?
yeah, that's what I'm calling it, a mouse trap. I mean, is that what we want? Is that in the orders to mouse trap these?
The orders is either to disarm or mark the mines.
Right, disarm.
It doesn't sound a lot like
Explosively?
explode.
No,
But we also have to make sure that the tanks aren't harmed wherever they are.
right. I'll be honest. I've got one mode, and that's explosive. I
I
can
think we could
try.
detonate them. I think detonating them is disarming them, isn't it? Unless they're multi-use mines, but that'd be something very special.
How do we?
Yeah.
We don't. I guess we don't know how many there are. We'd have to go out and find.
Tess, why don't you go pop upstairs and take a recce and check where those tanks are?
Yeah, did the data slate tell us where the tanks were?
No, but you do hear that you do hear in the distance like an explosion going off, and looking at your map, that's in the right location for where a gate at the top of the dam is, because there's like a ramp from the beach up the dam. So and that's where you can hear the rumble of vehicles moving. So, and it doesn't take long until you start seeing a Lehman Russ battle tank kind of inching its way up and reaching the top of the dam.
So we don't have long.
No.
We don't have time. So basically, we make them explode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can do that. So
Sure, I can as well with melt weaponry.
Oh,
I mean,
One
yeah,
point-
extreme heat, I would think, would detonate them.
oh, so you don't need my services.
No, we're going to use your services as
No,
well. Don't
no,
worry.
I understand when I'm not needed anymore.
Oh my goodness. It's we don't know how many bombs there are. You only have so many grenades, and we want to make sure that we can still blow people up.
I mean,
Hmm.
according to my inventory, I have many grenades.
You know, I'll go with that. Okay, let's head on up there and survey. I can take a look on my scope.
All right. Well, Crass, if you want to start on that side,
Mhm.
that's fine, and I'll do this side.
Right.
Nice one. I'll keep score.
Hey.
How about you keep an eye out for anybody shooting at us while I use the scope to check out to see how far possible mines might be.
No
Cool.
problem, Chica.
Let's do this thing.
All right,
Right.
Okay.
so that's what we do.
Just give me a second. I'm just checking. There we go.
You're the best guard that there's ever been.
I don't know about
Don't
that.
get cocky.
I mean, the fact
Yeah.
we got up a hill is quite good. That's,
I don't know.
you
we didn't do so
survived
well at the
15
beginning.
minutes, so you're
yeah,
doing
that's
good.
promotions all around. Well done.
Right, okay, so you leap over the power conduit, and before you is, the 1,000 meters from where you are towards the city gates is just piles of various detritus discarded by the residents of the hive. There is just, you know, the shells of old vehicles. There's various other waste. It's just a complete. It's pretty much a junkyard that you're moving through, which means there's going to be the IEDs are going to be well hidden. So, to detect these, you are going to have to let's see. You're going to have to make a no, not that. Not that. Does it give actually an example? I would have said. Surely it should have said what that would be. Okay, it's going to be a difficulty 3 test to detect any mines.
So what would we use?
Sorry, so that'll be awareness.
Oh. Oh.
Do we get a bonus for clever use of our equipment? In that I'm using I want to almost fire out almost like a sensor sweep, if that makes sense, with the melter gun, doing it in an arc, like in a kind of sweeping pattern as I advance to try and detonate, or at least melt the detonators of them.
Yeah, okay, you can do, if that's your way of doing it, I'll let you be dangerous.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna let Cross do it first.
I can't even get 3 because I have a 2 in awareness. So.
Yeah, I have 2 awareness.
Roll 2 6s. Faith in the Emperor.
We'll let Crass go first. We want to see how well this goes.
I'll still try.
Okay, so
I was standing well clear.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
But how many dice bonus do I get for being very clever with my melter gun? But understanding that if it goes wrong,
you get +2.
Nice.
But yeah,
I also accept that if this goes wrong,
I got 2 6s and a 6 on my, or I got 2 6s, 1 on a regular and 1 on my wrath die.
There you go. Don't doubt
Faith
it.
in the Emperor.
Don't doubt it.
And I've got 3 successes.
Oh, nice.
4, and a 5. Yeah.
Very cool.
Faith in the Emperor always works out.
So you've all got plenty of successes. Okay, for this. So yeah, Tess, you spot where some mines are, and you're able to plant. You've got some flags with you. You've got on a meter pole these little flags that you can magnetically place nearby. And Crass, you're just firing along a channel, thinking, a large enough channel that a Lehman Russ battle tank can make it through, and just sweeping up there, and you explode barrels of Promethean that have been left lying around. Plasma containers explode. You mostly hit a hidden cache of crack grenades that go off, and then one or 2 mines do explode.
Few civilians.
And this is where I'm going to spend a point of. I'm going to spend those 2 points of ruin as you're doing that, and use battlefield ruin, because this scenario is great. It's got other ways of using ruin. So battlefield ruin, and it's sniper. Where's that coming from? Get down. A sniper takes his interest in the fire team, or the person that is brandishing the melter gun.
Does it specifically say that? That's quite exciting.
It does specifically say that.
Oh,
it does specifically say that. So, Rob, you've got a defense of 2. This is going to be long range. So, defense counts as 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's 5. So they hit. And it's what's the long last damage again?
10.
Crystal, 10 plus how many extra damage die? Just the 1?
It's just 10.
10. Okay, so that's 11 damage total then, Rob.
Flip. Right.
Oh,
so
I'm sorry,
7...
there's one extra damage.
Yeah,
sorry.
1 extra dice, yeah.
Cool. So 7 is absorbed, is that right? And the other 4 I can
Is
now
wounds.
try and absorb. Right.
And you can absorb a shock, yeah.
Yes, we'll try and do that. I've absorbed 3 of them. I've got a 6 and a 4, so I take a wound and
Nice.
3 shock, I think. Is
Yeah.
that right? If absorb 3, so I'm at my maximum shock, but not
Ooh.
above. But I do take, what did I just say? 1 wound.
Take 1
Yeah.
wound.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fuck.
Lucky.
So I guess you dive for cover as the
Yes,
long
I
last
drop.
starts shooting. I'm going to roll that. And as you dive for cover, they keep shooting in your direction, and 2 more shots go off, pinging off the wreck of metal that you're hiding behind.
Cool.
What does anyone want to do as this is going on?
Since I see this, can I try to
Yeah,
pinpoint
you
where
can.
they're at?
You need to make an awareness check to spot them.
All right.
Come on, Tess, you got this.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. 3 and a 2.
Okay. But you
Has
do
anyone ever seen the
spot as
film
you're
Full Metal
looking
Jacket?
through the scope of the long lads, you do spot a group of a half dozen I would describe as scum. They've got white hoods like over their heads, as if it was, and in the way of like almost funeral garb, the way that you would dress the dead before they're taken off to the corpse reclamation centers, and they're brandishing a variety of auto weaponry, stub guns, and improvised weapons, and they're sneaking round towards your position.
Okay. I'm gonna give them something to have a funeral about.
Excellent.
It's 1, 2, 3. 3 successes.
Yeah,
Nice.
you pot shot one straight through the head, and they all start looking around wildly, looking for the sniper and diving for cover. Okay, so you've discovered or blown up some of the mines, and let's see what's it say then. And you've got a sniper still shooting at you. That sniper is now going to fire at Crystal. I guess Tess is in a secure position because she's got the sniper scope.
Yep.
And that means your defense is 4. Because your defense is 2, is it?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
And we get a
2.
bonus for being grave diggers.
No.
You know, I think you got a cover bonus.
Definitely not. But
Oh.
that hits, and it's going to hit with 3, 4. Oh dear. That's
No.
12 damage.
Oh. Okay. So my resilience is 7.
So that's 5 wounds, and then you can roll your determination to soak it.
I am definitely going to, because I have a max of 5 wounds.
Yep.
So
Yep. Oh no.
I think we've got a couple of glory as well, don't forget.
Yeah, we do have glory.
I am gonna need it because I didn't get any successes.
Yeah, use the glory. Use the glory.
Okay, I'm gonna use 1.
There's 2 points glory. So glory, remember, for adding extra dice to this dice pool, so you can add them on retroactively.
Do you have any wrath left, so you could re-roll anything?
I have 2 wrath. Yes.
Oh,
Use that then.
Yeah,
Okay, I
reroll your
will.
fails.
I will reroll my fails.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, so much better. I get 2 successes. Okay. So I take 2 shock and 3 wounds.
That's right. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh,
Okay. Right. Because you've blown up some of the mines and you've marked one, you can advance carefully, knowing there's a sniper out there shooting. And as you make your way through the piles of rubbish and detritus and rubble, you hear a whispering from inside an old container. And looking rather bedraggled with wide eyes is a man with hair. His hair is all scraggly and gone grey, and his robes, though stained and and muddy are that of an imperial priest. Over here, come here.
So I'll slowly make my way over.
I will follow.
Yeah,
Who
I'm
are
gonna
you?
follow
What's
you.
your business?
I tried to get out of the hive. It's madness in there. I thought it'd be safer out here. You're all believers in the God Emperor. You all keep the faith. Looks you all in the eye.
Yeah, I'll make the sign of the Aquila when he says that.
Good. He makes the sign. Bless you, young man. Yes. You sit here, rest for a moment. Is our salvation coming?
Yes, we're just the front. We're trying to get to the gates. Do you know any ways around or any tunnels that we could make it through?
I can help you, maybe. There are... you must be careful. I've seen... They're called the doomed youth that lurk around here. I've watched them. They know where the mines are, you see. I've seen one or two, though, forget, and the Emperor took one or two's foot quite happily.
Good.
You know where the mines are, then.
I can lead you there. I can take you to the hive. Though the hive, you realise, it is not easy. I cannot get you in there. They sealed it weeks ago.
That's a problem for future us. We'll work it out.
Yeah, if he can lead us, then we can just mark the way for the armor, right?
I can do that.
Well, Father, if you want to serve the Emperor,
yeah, well,
this will be
I
a way
mean,
to...
I would save the Emperor, but the Emperor is dead, isn't he? That is why the hive is it. They sealed it to mourn his death.
The Emperor is not dead.
No.
I'm going to say that very, very aggressively towards him.
I'm going to shift behind him.
The Emperor is not dead. He has been resurrected. Then, but that cannot be. If his resurrection has happened, then all of the dead would stand with him.
Why don't we have this conversation whilst we walk and talk? And seeing the other two like surrounding him is like, our only lead. let's walk and talk.
I mean, this guy's a heretic, but if you want to put our lives in his hand, we can do that and then execute him.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to ask him, or what you want to do before hoping he might direct you to where the mines are?
Can we have some kind of role on trying to divine whether this man is insane or trying to deceive us? Or
yeah, you could do that. That would be a let's think.
Straight fellowship, maybe, or
yeah, it would be straight fellowship. Yeah. Oh, insight.
Oh, insight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
okay, I am also going to roll that.
I'm not. I don't believe a word this guy says.
I'm not. I kind of believe him. So.
Rob is this far from this
I am
close to just killing him outright.
I am
No.
so here's my thing is that I am more watching to see to kind of pace his movement so that if he does something out of the ordinary, I can just execute him from behind.
Fine.
I'm not looking to believe him. I don't believe him, but he's also leading us. So
yes, that's yeah, I get that. What did you get, Rhea?
2 successes.
I got a success. I got a 6 on my wrath die.
Ooh.
Oh
That's all I
yeah,
got, though.
From the way he's talking, the way he explains things, he certainly believes what he's saying.
Okay. So I'm going to stay behind him just a pace or two. And if he makes any sudden movements, I'm just executing him no questions asked.
You are, if you are heading forward though, and I lead you, I guess I should bless you. And he takes out his rosary, which is, you again looks slightly strange. The imperial eagle, which should dangle from it, dangles upside down.
What?
Nope.
That's a big nope.
Dearie, we're being shot at. We're on a bit of a tight schedule. When we get through the minefield, how's that?
No, I must bless you now, for if you were to succeed and be amongst those who will be, you will surely die, but then you will be resurrected with the Emperor's own resurrection. You will be heroes.
I'm gonna put my las gun behind his head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, no, you stop right there.
We don't want any trouble.
As of right now, everything that you are speaking is blasphemy.
He
and heresy.
Stops, turns to face you with the rifle at his forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Heresy? Heresy? You believe the Emperor is immortal already? The Emperor lives? You are the fools. You are the heretics. And he reaches into his robes.
Oh.
I shoot him.
Yeah.
And that'd be initiative.
Yeah, you blow his brains out.
No! Oh, fuck.
Well, because of that, you get a glory point, and I'm gonna say, Crystal, you can have a wrath point back for taking the initiative on killing that dirty heretic.
Yeah, I'm gonna spit on the remains of his body.
Okay.
40K.
So you are going to have to advance and find another mine. So it'll be an awareness check to find it, and again, you're either going to mark it with a flag or you can disable it. It's up to you.
Try an awareness check, but I doubt using the old. Well, there's still a sniper, isn't there? That's a problem.
That's the thing, yeah.
Well, you're going to have to take that risk.
That's true. Good point. And actually, one of my objectives. Sorry, Crystal. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I was gonna say if one of you can draw out the sniper, I might be able to get a better bead on where he was.
So I will do that because one of my objectives is express confidence in virtue of overwhelming numbers and firepower. So I feel that you're standing in the open. It's basically just like,
hello, you nutter.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident there. So I'm going to attempt that then. Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, I will do that. I'll step out so that Tess can blast their head off, or even Ophelia if you get your grenade launcher ready. And
okay.
Yeah.
Both of you.
I'll be plan B.
What are you doing, you twat?
We are plan B.
In fact, I'll walk out with the butt.
We're like plan C and D.
Yeah.
Like nobody's
we're
relying on
down
us.
on
Come on.
Plan A was just bombard from orbit. I'm going to take the body of the priest with me so I can use it both as we've shot this guy and a human shield.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, you do that. You may even just kind of prod him out, hold him up round the corner or something out in the open.
Yeah,
you're there holding the body of this dead priest, waiting for a shot, and a good 5 minutes goes by and nothing happens. So you can accept that you can just leave that dirty heretic's body behind and carry on.
Yeah, I'll do that face down. I'll make sure it's face down as well.
Yeah.
And go ahead with my mine hunting skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, your awareness stuff.
Let's have a look. Yes. No, one success. I said yes very confidently there.
Okay, you haven't found the mine yet.
No, haven't found the mine yet, but my legs have.
You stood on it.
You didn't fail, which is the main thing.
Right, yeah.
Does anyone else want to try and look for the mine?
I didn't know what Tess was doing, sorry. I can definitely
I'm
help.
watching for that sniper.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll help look
Yeah.
for the mine.
All right. If me and Tess are on sniper duty, then and then
Actually, before we start doing that, can I please use one of my wrath to get rid of my shock?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
so that I can roll it
restore,
over. Okay.
2 point. It'll be a point or 2 points of shock. I think we'll say 2.
It's strength plus
2.
fear, so 2.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I will also do that because otherwise I'm about to go catatonic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have no more shock. I have 3 wounds though, so like I need to be able to absorb some of that shock.
You need to have some Medicaid on you, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who's checking for the mine?
Ria, I believe.
Me with
Okay.
my single diced awareness.
Okay.
Got it.
You do have there's 3 glory in the glory pool if you want to
Yes.
use some glory on this.
Use it. That's what it's there for.
Yeah, use it.
That sounds great. Brilliant.
Do you want to
idea.
use all
Love it.
3?
Yeah.
Well,
Do
like,
it.
if people are cool with this, that's...
Yeah, do it.
I'm okay with that. Yes.
Yeah.
I believe you can use
Yeah,
all 3
glory.
in one go like that. I know there might
Yeah, I
be a
think so.
slight limit, but not
I
too
always
much.
liked Ria before she got exploded.
She was great as
Thanks
one
for,
person. Now
planning
she's
my
excellent
funeral.
as
Now
5.
she's very split over everything.
Into a fine mist.
She's great as a cloud.
Yeah, so
It's like I'm hugging all of you.
so so did you succeed on that?
I got 2 successes.
Okay, we'll say put with Rob's, then that's enough to detect it because you're working as a team. Yeah, you find the next mine. Do you want to disable it or do you want to just mark it?
How long do we have? How far are the tanks behind us now? Because we did have that little chat.
You've got it. Once you've marked everything, you'll have to head back and lead the tank forward with you.
Right. Let's just mark it then.
They're not coming straight across.
They're not.
No.
Okay, good.
They're not idiots.
No,
Unlike
that's
us.
why you're here.
Yeah.
Let's just mark them then. And keep going.
And you keep going. As you, again, push forward through the piles of scrap and rubble, you round the corner and you see 5 or 6 members of the Penal Legion. They're hunkered down behind cover. Their face is pale. They're trembling. They just look like they don't have any fight left in them. You recognise one of them. It's O'Garan from the Chimera earlier.
Yes.
This is Fire Team 123F.
Poor bastards.
The worst. They're stuck.
They're stuck. Because it seems like they also had orders to clear clear as many of the mines as well. Also up ahead, standing, you thinks, in a slightly stupid manner on a tall pile of rubble, looking out with macro binoculars, is Commissar Shrake himself in his glorious cape and resplendent uniform, with 2 of his guards who are armed with just standard las guns and so forth, but they've got much better armor. They're inspecting the battlefield before them. O'Garan sees you approach, and she gets herself up off the ground. 1, 2, 3, B. You made it.
Yeah, complete your objective then.
Yeah, you're doing really well here.
We got stuck. There's snipers that we got bombarded. I don't know how many of these are gonna. Some of them have already given up the ghost. Whether they're alive, I don't know. Look. Let's be honest. Shrake's a bit mad, so why don't we, just head back? We're gonna set off in a
Desertion?
bit.
But he's a massive twat, but he's our twat.
Yeah.
Look,
Are you questioning the commissar?
If you head back, it's my fist in your face. Do you hear that?
you lot are crazy. You're just gonna get yourselves killed
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
You coming with?
Yeah.
Right.
Better crippled in body than corrupt in mind, O'Garen.
How do you want to deal with this? Do you want to use leadership or do you want to try intimidation?
Well, I've got intimidation.
Oh my god.
Do you? I think we let
I
the
think
one with
that's
the
a choice.
chainsaw do the intimidation.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Surprisingly,
You're
I
paying for
have
the
more
sword.
leadership than intimidation.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
Who wants to
I
try it
am-
then? It's difficulty 3 either way.
Rhea, go on.
Yeah, go on, Maria. You brought it for this.
Just ignite the chainsaw at the right opportunity.
Ah, one success.
Okay. Yeah. She's not convinced. Like looking at you, grim-faced as you are, splattered in blood from your various encounters. Look, you may think you're blessed by the Emperor, but the Emperor also doesn't suffer fools.
That's all right. I know the Emperor doesn't give a shit about me. I'm the tiniest piece of shit that's well below his throne. But you are here and you've got a job to do, and you're gonna fucking do it.
Okay. Does anyone else want to try and step in, trying to be a leader or intimidate?
I'm going to
I've
activate.
already executed one heretic. I can keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to make sure my melter gun's giving a good like noise, like it's on ready.
So
Okay.
I will add on to that.
Yeah, I think we can, as a triumvirate, while Ophelia does the knitting.
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm thinking what Ophelia's doing. She wouldn't be paying attention to this. So
Just marking out the mines while we have.
yeah, she's in the background, carefully, and then carry on to the next one. So yeah, she's in the background going, oh, like very Indiana Jones like. But
Okay, so
obviously not
who's
replacing them with
doing
anything.
intimidate? Are you sorry, Crystal? Tess doing the leadership then?
I think it's intimidate,
Okay.
right?
I mean, like, I'm only rolling through dice. So if anyone has anything higher.
No, I've only got 2 as well. I think as a team, basically, Rhea, Crass, and Tess have all rounded on a sort of
Pretty
you
much.
are going to the front kind of thing. There's no.
Yeah. And
You're not
if they don't at this point, we either execute them and move on, or we just move on, depending on what happens.
Good idea.
Because the more time we waste with them, the more we're wasting our time as well.
And the Emperor's time.
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay.
Calm down, Cross.
Oh man, I'm going to use my last wrath to re-roll every single die.
I got a 6 on the raft dice.
Ooh.
So I got 3 successes with a 6 on the raft
Oh my
dice.
god. Nope.
Nice.
Still nothing.
Oh.
Oh,
And what did you get, Rob?
I got 3 successes, one of which is a 6, 2 of which were a 6 on the raft dice.
Okay, so hold on. So what were the successes? Was one of 4, and then you've got 2 successes.
Yeah.
So is that not actually 5 successes total?
No. I rolled a 6 and a 4,
A
basically.
6 and 4. Okay,
yeah.
so you've got glory
Yeah.
point back. Okay, that's the main thing from that. And you're doing what? Intimidation or leadership?
Intimidation.
Okay, go on then. You succeed.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right. So basically, with Rhea's speech, Tess's eyes of a killer, and my
You're gonna go.
thrumming melter gun.
You're gonna go
I'm so
full
sorry.
religious zealot on them, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna use that as a turn around and walk forward, like a proper. Don't even think about deserting.
Don't even think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're blockade detecting. We're just like, no, come on, we're going to see the commissar.
we've got ourselves some volunteer mine detectors.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Agarin, like, just eyes go wide as you brandish the humming melter gun to her face. It's like, all right, I get your point. She turns around.
Yeah.
Hassan, get the rest together, and as they're mobilizing the the other penal legionnaires. Commissar Shrake has descended the pile of rubble and walks over, and is has a smart goatee, whips his cloak around him, trying to be as much of a hero as possible. Has a fine power sword, and motions to one of his guard, who pours into a pewter cup some amasec for him. You did well getting O'Garan together there. Here, what's your name, man? Hands over to Kras.
But it's my colleagues who deserve the real praise.
Well, fill that cup up and pass it around. I like to see a good gathering of proper soldiers. Nothing like seeing some good heroism in the face of danger to get you all worked up in the morning. Ugh. And he cracks his stick at his heel. He's just totally in for this heroism and honor in battle. Right, well, once you've drunk up, warmed your heart, warmed your spirit with some good old blessed amasec there. You're gonna get those men, get those soldiers over the crest of that hill. We're gonna get the rest of those mines marked. Well, what are you waiting for? Get to it.
Yes, sir.
He's obviously not leading you because he's only a commissar.
If the amasec's being passed around, Ophelia will take out her dentures and have a swig. And then be like, oh, I've been upside down this whole time, and then put them back in and then hand over
Right. Let's
it's
put
back in the room.
We'll get O'Garen's fire team up front, and they can do the initial sweeping, and then we'll check their work.
Okay. You watch as you're following from a good distance.
Yeah.
O'Garen and those remaining 6 penal legionnaires move forward. Just as they mark the mine, around, running over the crest of rubble is a mob of about a dozen or so of gangers that you witnessed earlier, that you shot at. They're charging down, firing off their auto guns and auto pistols at O'Garan and his squad and her squad, and they return fire with their las guns. So what you can do is you can use O'Garan and the squad as a mob of your own. So they count as a mob of 6. So you treat them as basically having 6 wounds collectively from this. So who wants to roll for them firing back at this mob? Who wants to do the honour of O'Garen's team doing
I'll
their
give it a
last
go.
stand?
I've not rolled for a bit, so I'll have a go.
So you're going to
What was I
roll their ballistic skill of 5, and you add +5 dice to that because that represents the rest of the squad firing as a group.
That's what, 10? Sorry.
10 dice, and the difficulty number is 2 to hit this mob of a dozen gangers.
And do you want me to roll any wrath dice within it, or is it
one of them will count as a wrath die, yeah.
fantastic? Just okay.
Oh, and everyone, because you convinced them to go forward, you got 2 glory points as well.
Hey.
So back up to 3.
Yay!
Sending people to their futile deaths always gets you rewards. Space fascism.
That is 4 total successes.
Okay, so that's hit. Any 6s in there?
No 6s.
Okay, so nothing to shift.
No 6s.
Okay, so then you roll for damage, which will be 7 plus. Let me just check.
Is this
rules
the las gun? It's just
yeah, it's 7 damage basic, and then because it's a mob.
How many successes did you get in 10 dice there, Fiona?
4. It was 4 5s, and then the rest were like 2s and 3s.
No 6s.
No 6s. I know.
Fiona is not allowed to roll any more dice. So
I've been busy drinking the lovely juice and then trying to get the teeth. It's like when you brush your teeth and then you drink something and it's very fuzzy. That's what I'm doing right now as a feeling like, ha.
My dice are already in the sin bin.
There you go. Yeah.
Mob damage. Okay, mobs. Blah 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 blah. Number of icons roll on the attack test and returning hits. That's hits. Splitting attacks. Mob attacks. +1 bonus for every troop of the mob. Yeah, okay. So that basically means that Agaran's squad did absolutely shite. So yeah, it's just 7 damage +1 extra
I
damage
thought so.
die. I'll roll that for him. Which is a success. And against these gangers that have really crappy armor, I bet they should be crappy armor. Let's see, resilience 3, so that's 7, 8, 3, 8, so that's 5. So 5 of the mob get killed by the last gunfire going off. We're going to roll for them. That means there's 7 of them firing back. And I'm just going to roll a lot of dice, and I'm going to say each success will kill one of Agaran's squad, which basically means 4 of them are dead. So there's only Agaran and Hansen alive as they're cut down by auto gunfire. But obviously, they're dead and not you. So what do you want to do?
Oh, it's what they would have wanted.
It's what they would have wanted. They died doing what they loved. Sweeping for mines.
I'm going to try to snipe one of them.
Okay. I think at this point, I think we can assume you're just rolling to gather glory. So just roll dice to see if you get any 6s, because I'm sure the arrayed gunfire going off of a melter gun, a long las, followed by a grenade launcher, and then mopping them up with a chainsaw will annihilate this mob.
It's the perfect party.
I got 6.
So that's a glory point.
I got 1 6.
Ooh.
That's a glory point then. Okay. So you're on to 5.
Yes. Woohoo.
Right, okay. We can assume the mob is cleared out, and before you is Agaran and Hansen, who, looking petrified, are glad you were there to give covering fire and save them. And with that done, you are able to head back. Is that right? Are we at the right point? No, we're not quite at the right point. You find yourselves, as you head forward, you're now just 100 meters away from the huge metal gates of Tora Armis. The centuries of exposure to the harsh atmosphere have rusted the plasteel gates, so they're almost a blood red. There are 2 huge statues of imperial saints that flank the gates, and both of them have been beheaded. And at their feet, the shattered faces of Saint Bora the Industrious and Saint Tamara the Vigilant gaze up at the chemical street sky. So now you're there. You're at that location, and you've found your way through the minefield. You can head back, and you can check for any final mines. And as you do so, you return all the way back to where you originally started, picking your way forward. At which point, you find the commissar, who looks impressed, as Presley could be, and reassigns Agaran and Hansen to another fire team.
Yeah, piss off.
And yes, you can now lead the tank forward. So you've got a Lehman Russ battle tank with you.
Yes.
It will require a awareness check.
Oh.
Difficulty
Oh,
8,
no.
but
Oh, God.
reduced by 1 for each mine you have flagged or mine you have defused. You flagged 2 and defused.
Oh, no.
I say defused. You blew up 1 with a melter gun. So it's actually only a difficulty 4 awareness check.
Who has the best awareness?
You can
Nah, I
all
have
roll
2.
and use the roll with the
Yep.
highest number of icons.
Oh, okay. Let's solid.
Well,
Let's
we've
the
got
glory
a
of the
ton
And
of
you've got
we've
5
got glory,
glory.
haven't we?
You've got glory.
Right. So we
Yes,
can all.
all
Why
of
don't we
that.
all
Let's all.
Add a
Yes.
glory.
Everyone use 1 glory so they get an extra die.
2
Okay.
dice? Is it 1 dice or 2 dice?
1 die.
Emperor's teeth. So actually, stop. Wouldn't it make sense for 1 person to use all the glory rather than 4 rolls
where's
of 3
the fun
dice?
in that?
Where's the fun in that?
You
Bloody
all right?
metagaming For the Emperor bullshit over there.
So maybe put a melter gun round into you, Ophelia.
Yeah.
Right. Okay then. Should we all use one and see who gets the most successes?
Yeah, I think let's all use one.
Three successes.
4 successes, 2 sixes.
Excellent.
Oh.
Done.
And one-
Right. Okay.
I got a 6 on my wrath die,
Yeah, I
and
got
six
then
on my
another
wrath die.
6.
Okay. Good. So you're back up to 3 glory, and you lead the Lemurus battle tank. It rumbles along, and as you do so, some other doomed youth scramble over the top of the piles of rubble, but obviously with support from the fire team, and the heavy bolter on the tank. Their short work is made of them.
Mainly us.
And you eventually arrive at the hive's gates, and the tank begins its bombardment. You are told to get some rest because this will take some time. And as this is going on, one of the tank crew kind of pops his head out of the top of the tank as it's firing. He's like, "Oh, don't worry, Emperor willing, we'll have that gate down in time for you to make through. But you may as well sit yourselves down there." And
Is there a medic in there?
we don't have a medic, but we've got a medical kit on board. So if you've got to patch yourselves up, now's a good time.
Let's do that.
Cool. Right, you can all restore your shock, and you can make a Medicaid roll for your wounds for healing.
Oh.
One dice. Okay.
Yeah, that's what. It'll be a miracle. Like, I just stitch myself up with my knitting.
The Medicaid kit will give you a bonus 2 dice to the roll.
Oh,
Thank
nice.
goodness.
Got it anyway. So.
Another. 3. Hang on,
Rio, have you not been hit yet?
5 successes.
No.
And
Blessed by the Emperor.
Yeah.
I got a 6 and a 5, so I got all 3 of my wounds.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a 6. So.
I'm back up. Yeah, as well.
Okay. So how many successes do you get on the Medicaid roll? Who got the most?
I got 5 in total. I got 2 6s and a 5. And
I got
and
4 in
6.
total.
Yeah.
I got 3 in total.
Okay. Resting.
I actually fit my teeth in properly.
Regroup
And they
response.
proper good.
Okay, you regain wound. If you do that, oh right, you don't have to roll for the Medicaid rating. Actually, if you have a Medicaid rating, you can heal 1 character during this regroup. They regain wounds equal to your Medicaid dice pool.
Oh.
Okay.
That's actually worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
actually
actually
worse.
worse.
Okay.
So much worse. I go, haha, and then the teeth fall out. I'm like, oh,
Well,
no!
if you make a Medicaid test at difficulty 3, you can restore that restores a single wound to a character, and every shifted exalted icon on a Medicaid restores an additional wound.
Oh, yeah. Either way, I only heal 1.
Yeah, that'd be the
Yeah.
same.
But I've only got one.
I would rather not risk taking a roll when I can, get a 1 on the wrath die.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Ophelia, that is disgusting. Please put your teeth back in.
Ah, sorry, didn't realise I was in company. Wipe it off.
Okay, you
Flossing.
the data slate pings into life again, and there are new orders issued.
Yeah.
It says, "Through the courage of our troopers and with the blessing of the Emperor, we have reached the walls of Tora Armis. All units are to make preparations for an assault on the spire, to be launched as soon as the tanks have opened breach. There can be no steps back. We will carry the gates at the point of our bayonets and restore the light of the Emperor to those within. Signed off, Company Commander Captain Caius What's that say? Renfrew. Weird name. As you get that, and there are more troops nearby, you're issued some smoke grenades. You get given 2 smoke grenades and a breaching ladder.
Oh, bless. Righto.
So your mission is to once the gates have been blown, actually, you can take all your wounds back, actually, because it says it takes an entire day for the gates to be blown apart by the tanks, because obviously they're that huge. The noise makes sleep near impossible if you weren't utterly exhausted from the trials of war. As the sun sets, its orange glare mingles with the faintly menacing purplish haze of the great rift above, and the sulphurous smell emanating from the runoff lakes from far below past the dam. Even through this fog, you can see the colossal silhouette of the floating continent Brazil on the horizon. So there's a floating continent hive spire on this planet as well, which is mad. You're ordered to scour the battlefield for casualties and provide what aid you can to the wounded. So your first orders of the day before breaching the walls is to go look for any of the injured. You're issued some stretchers to do this, and you can begin the search. That's
I think
it.
that's the amount of
Boys and girls,
enthusiasm.
off we go.
Yeah. I think we don't need to do this very enthusiastically. I think keep ourselves uninjured.
Okay, you can make awareness checks just to see if you can actually find anyone
No.
that's alive.
Yeah, we're deliberately not even looking. If we're all
Probably like, help me. I don't know what that was.
he left. They left as soon as we got there.
Yeah, any soldier we
successes.
save can serve the Emperor.
Yeah,
So
only
awareness.
one success, unfortunately,
successes.
wasn't. Yeah, do.
One success.
Yeah,
I
couldn't
got one
find.
success.
Right, you basically fail at finding anyone alive except for
Yeah.
Corporal Colm and his fire team. Corporal Colm was someone you knew back at the original landing party, and he's essentially pretty much. Well, no, you find his remains. Half his head is blown away, and nearby are troopers. Dormer and Steed, who are unconscious. One trooper is blown away. Colm is fully conscious, but his leg has been twisted at a rather grotesque angle due to whatever injury he sustained. He looks up at you, through the with the light from dawn, and he makes the sign of the Quiller. I'm blessed to see you. I'm surprised to see anyone. I heard the roar of the cannons. I guess they're about to breach the hive.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we're all going in. So
You
gonna
ain't
be
got
all
time
right?
to bleed.
Yeah.
Get up. Need a tourniquet on that? Or a splint?
I think something more than that. So do you want to do a Medicaid test to?
Yeah, sure.
Check-
So I'll line down the stretcher, and it looks like he's probably going to need like his leg pulled and strapped.
Yep. Okay, so everyone can make Medicaid tests to check over the squad that you've discovered.
Oh dear. One success.
One success.
One success.
Wow.
Okay.
We all go 1, 2, 3.
You put him on the stretcher, and Corporal Colm starts, cries out in pain. He's pretty white, and he goes, "Oh my God, please don't let me die! Please don't let me die!"
Chant the name of the Emperor, soldier.
Are you going to knock him out?
Go to sleep.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to hold him down while they pull his leg.
Okay. As you do that, he passes out with the pain.
Yeah.
You try to move Trooper Belloc, but as you do so, he coughs and splutters, and dies in your hands.
Oh.
Has he got any good stuff?
And you try to move Dormer and Steed. It requires obviously two of you each to move a single member. So you're gonna have to pick. You're gonna take Corporal Colm because he's higher in rank. You're going to have to choose between Dormer and Steed to save one of them because they're unconscious.
Choose one that looks like they've got the best chance of survival.
Okay.
Yeah, and the best gear.
You carry them away, and you take them back to the line where away from the tanks, where obviously there's a triage tent that's been set up, hoping to tend to the injured so they can be put back on the battlefield as soon as possible. As you do so, as you're moving away from where you discovered them, you hear an explosion go off. And all you can assume is that whoever that you left behind was mostly caught in that explosion from whatever random weaponry was fired at them. Right.
Emperor's Mercy.
As you get back to the triage tent, a cheer goes up. You hear the roar of engines high above you, and you see a flight of Valkyries head towards the top of the spire as they begin an airborne assault. Looking through your scope, Tess, you can see that as they reach their point of ingress, you see a squad of Tempestus Scions rappel down into the spire.
So just quickly for Kat and Fiona and
Yes, please.
these are
They aren't
so
fucking around.
Yeah, where Valkyries are like drop ships, basically vertical takeoff landing. You know, the one from Aliens. It's the one from Aliens.
Yeah, it's
And the
basically
Tempestus, the Tempestus Scions are the heavily equipped stormtroopers of the Imperial Guard.
They have
they're sending in the
really
big
good
guns.
las guns.
Oh,
Really
cool.
good
So we're
ones.
not needed.
And
Yes, we're
the
not needed,
second
we're fine.
the second scenario in this kind of campaign, you get to play as them.
Oh, very
Yeah.
cool.
Aww.
And
Yeah.
what you
Meanwhile-
witness is the start of that scenario.
Very
Nice.
cool. I like
Oh.
that. That's really cool.
They all get shot down. Shit.
So yes, the gates of the hive have been obliterated, and now in their place is a 10-meter high pile of red-stained rubble, and beyond it the darkness of the hive's interior. A banner bearing a proudly morbid rendering of the Aquila thrashes in the wind, hoisted by a ministerial priest standing in front of the rubble. "Servants of the Emperor!" she cries, brandishing her chainsword. "He calls you to service, to fight, to triumph, to victory!" All around you, the troopers scream prayers and ready their weapons, ready to charge towards the wall. With a roar, troopers surge forward into the breach. In response, you see you can see the flicker of automatic gunfire firing from the rubble, and your compatriots being gunned down. Right. And of course, your orders are to rush forward with the breaching ladder and make it over the walls. So you're going to have to run forward.
Want to live forever? Let's go.
Right.
Today's a good day to die.
Yeah, definitely going to hoof a smoke grenade up there ahead of me.
Oh, great. Okay, so you're going to definitely do that. You chuck a smoke grenade ahead to give you some cover.
Great idea.
Okay. Remember,
Like
you've
if
got
this was a
Glory
film,
to
this
call
is-
for some support, so you can call for support.
Oh, yeah.
Do that. Yeah.
Did you, we'll find out what happens first. There is where's the table that it's told me to look upon? Oh, it's this one. Round. No, it's not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Where is it? Sorry, I'm just checking what it said to do. Blah, 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 blah. Roll on the danger table. Oh, I guess it means the ruin table.
That doesn't sound like a fun table for us. I'm just
The
putting
danger
it out there.
table.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things there. Okay, so it's a 3. So yeah, as you run forward, there is sniper fire from the rubble. But
Bloody
thanks
snipers,
to,
man.
and I'm going to award, Rhea can have a wrath point back then for the
Yes.
timing of a smoke grenade. That gives you the cover to surge forward. And then on the next roll, as you head forward, oh god, what do you want to do on the next round as you're surging towards the rubble? Do you want to chuck another smoke grenade forward, or do you want to call for support?
we call for support from those Valkyries? Could they, after they've
Could they,
dropped
yeah,
off
switch
their
round?
Tempestus, can they come back round and start strafing, or can they not come
Yeah,
in?
you can get them if you spend 2 glory. You could do artillery support, and they can strafe the area in front of you.
I think that'd be a good idea. Yeah.
Okay, you do that.
I kind of figure it's not we're calling for them; it just happens.
It just happens.
Yeah.
The Valkyries like scream down from the spire, and as they do so, there is the rattle of autocannon gunfire, and you watch heretics ripped apart, and then they fire off missile after missile after missile across the area, and it is literally apocalypse now. It just before you is a mushroom of orange fire exploding. And I had rolled for the Battlefield Ruin event that you should have ran into was a mine. But your timing of artillery support means they clear that out and explodes before you. And you essentially are running through the dust that's been kicked up by that. And through the flames as they die down around you, carrying this ladder, screaming the Emperor's name as you go forward. And the final thing that happens is 3. What do you want to do as your last thing? Do you want to chuck another smoke grenade? Do you want to fire? Or what else do you want to do?
Can I scream some encouraging advice, some basically trying to get to go as fast as we possibly can.
Okay.
That's just what Crass is doing anyway. Exactly. Yeah.
Do you want to? You still got 1 point of glory. You could spend it for covering fire.
Yeah.
And that means the squads behind you who've got stuck
Yeah.
can just lay down a hail of las fire ahead of you, which is great timing again, because I'd rolled sniper again, and so that poor sniper doesn't get a chance, and you're at the rubble, and you lay down the ladder, and you start clambering up. Yeah, so you reach the base of the walls, and you start moving up using the ladder, and as you do so, as you are doing that, a bunch of, again, more cultists, and they are cultists. You begin to really notice the change of population that are swarming out from there. Their armor is, again, painted with crude markings of the Aquila upside down. They have also bolted onto their armor, brandishing like horrible spikes, and some of them have even gone as far as putting shards of metal into their skin, and they run down at you. So there's a mob of 5 of them. What do you want to do? I guess shoot them, right?
Or chainsaw them.
Or chainsaw them. How do you want to respond?
Yeah, I think that's a chainsaw to the face from me.
Okay, go on then. Roll your attack.
Go for it.
How much glory have we got, by the way?
You got 0 glory now because you spent it on all the support.
We used it all the way to get here.
Yes.
Yes. Oh man. So that's only 1 success, but I'm going to spend a wrath to re-roll all my failures.
Yep.
Which buys me an exalted, so that's 3 successes.
Okay, yeah, you definitely hit. And then roll for damage.
Well, that's shocking. So that's 8 base damage plus 1 extra damage.
Okay. That's not right. Traitor militia, that'll be them. It doesn't matter. You rev the chainsword, and you rip apart a good 3 of them with ease. They fall, as I guess the best way to describe them is awful, as you wrench your sword around in wild arcs, cleaving them apart. Who else then wants to go next? Or actually, I should let them fight, but they're not really going to have much chance. They're going to fight Rhea up close.
Ophelia, I reckon, a frag grenade
They
will finish him.
completely failed to
That's
hit
the
you
plan.
as they're
Yeah.
really trying to battle you with knives.
I'm going to shoot them.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay, so you're going to do some a sniper shot or two into them?
Yep. It's only one. 2 successes. Sorry.
So that's a hit.
Oh, good.
And you don't, even before you roll, you'll kill another one. That means there's only really like one standing left that's attempting to fight Rhea with a knife, which is just insanity. So if someone wants to take out that last one,
Do you have something crass? So I've got something for lots of people, but I don't want to wait. I just don't wanna
You've got a
waste-
lasgun as well, don't forget.
you can just take out your you could just use your las gun.
Yeah.
Oh, but
I'm carrying the ladder. I want to get the ladder.
you're
far
carrying the
forward.
ladder. I go, ow! I didn't realise I had this. Put the grenade launcher away. And then, yeah, I'll use my las gun on that last person. So that's 6. Yeah, that's 3 successes.
Yeah, you hit the cultist and they fall down dead before Rhea. Yeah, it's an absolute bloody mess that she's standing in the middle of.
I'm gonna tap off my cigar and say, "Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back."
Amazing.
Right, as you get the ladder ready and you are making your way up the rubble, and ahead of you can see a forward party with the Penal Legion's banner fluttering in the wind. And at the summit, you then see this huge muscled figure spring up and sever the priest's head from her shoulders with a servo arm that's in the shape of a huge twisted metal claw. Gouts of blood spray from her shoulders, and they see this figure seizes the flag and rips it apart, casting it down. "He has fallen! We shall rise!" And you hear a cry of cultists behind him. Around you, the assault kind of stalls as they watch their figurehead leader, beheaded before them, and panic begins to roll through the ranks. Right. What do you want to do? You can try and rally the assault. This will require a leadership test, difficulty 4.
Is this something that we could, if Crystal leads, can we help with this?
Yeah, it actually says you can reduce the difficulty to 3 if a character exposes themselves to danger in order to make the attempt. So basically, if someone
I'll
does
do
something
that.
as mad as picks up the banner, stands really high up so everyone can see them, and then says something quite mad, quite zealous.
Don't let your mouth get your ass in trouble, boy.
Right? Can I do? Okay. So wait, the guy that we watched behead the one guy, he is not on our side, correct?
No.
No.
I wanted to make sure before I do this. Can I do a two-part thing?
Okay.
Can I try to snipe him?
There's no reason why you couldn't.
Okay.
Go on.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
And then from there, I'm going to try to pick up the banner.
Okay. This is going to be fun.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Right.
He's at medium range, so that's okay for
Okay.
you.
Yeah, that's my medium ranges with my las gun, 36 meters. So
Oh, you're in short range then, so you've got +1 to hit, +1 die to hit.
sweet. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 successes.
Nice.
Could
That's a hit.
I? So that's a hit?
Mhm.
Okay. I was gonna say, could I, if I need to, could I use a glory?
There's no glory left.
Okay.
Used it all the way to get here, yeah.
Okay, that's totally fine. And Wrath doesn't refresh for us after a
No.
rest, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So I still hit.
Nice.
And then it's 10 plus 1 extra damage die.
Correct. So that is not a success, so 10.
10. Okay, he's got armor 6, so that means you've done 4 wounds to him. He is not dead, and also I'm gonna. Oh no, I've got no ruin, so I can't do his determination roll. So yeah, you hit him quite squarely in the chest, knocking him off his feet. He's not dead, but you've laid him low for a moment, and I guess you walk forward and pick up the banner.
Yep. And I say, heretics have no place with the emperor. They are weaker than us, and we can overtake them.
Okay, so you shout that at the top of your, as loud as you can.
Yep.
And then you roll your leadership test, difficulty 3.
All right.
Come on, Tess. You got this. You just did a very badass thing.
Interesting. All right, let's do this.
Yeah.
I got 1 success.
Ooh, yeah, that's not happening. The rest of the Penal Legion are, some of them, even though seeing what you've done, some of them are turning tail, and that's not good for you to go forward. But you did shoot that big monstrous dude, and so that makes your ascent a bit easier.
Here's an idea, Rhea. Could you get up there, chainsaw his head off, and then like eye for an eye it, hold that up to encourage our lot?
Yeah, no problem, Crass. I'll just go over and do that.
Cool, good job.
Great.
Good job, Rhea.
So you're going to scrabble up there, and you're going to assault the top. You get
Me
to
and
the
Ophelia will
top,
give
and
you
you
cover.
see this huge figure with that, twisted metal claw. With them are 4 other cultists, and you're at the You're basically at the very top of the breach of this rubble. As essentially, what you're just going to charge straight towards them. It's a charge attack, so you're going to get +1 die on the attack. Let's see. Has he got anything else that's going to help? Not really.
Oh no.
Just roll to attack because he's already injured. Oh, hold on. Can he has 1 personal
Me
ruin?
and Ophelia will follow up, giving supporting fire, I think.
Doesn't generate a free.
Well, I've got some things that could support him, but we'll see how this goes.
Oh, right, yeah. So yeah, I'll follow with supporting fire, and then you
Yeah,
grenade the area.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Okay, he actually has 1 personal ruin, which I'll roll for his injury originally. Oh, that actually did nothing. He's got 3 wounds taken off him instead, but he's still wounded. Okay, so you're going to charge him then. He's got a defense of 3. Just roll to hit him.
Come on.
I hit 3.
Nice.
Okay, you've hit him.
Nice.
Good. So chainsword meets massive clawed servo arm. Yeah, and as you've got close to him, you realise that he's wearing a face mask which has 4 prongs coming out of it and ends in a skull-like maw. Now, for anyone that's aware of Necromunda and that wonderful combat game, this guy kind of looks like a corpse grinder, so clearly has turned to his wonderful Dark Lord Khorne, is all I will say. Not that you guys are aware of that. You don't know who Khorne is or any of those Chaos Guards. It just looks like a crazy guy. Yeah. What can he do once per round? No, suffer shock to make a combat action. No, roll. No, okay, go on the roll to injure then.
So that's 9 damage.
That's 9 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is enough to just spin and in one-on-one combat sever.
Very cool.
You basically cut through his shoulder, severing his server arm, and then carrying it on through and decapitate him in one go.
Nice.
Yeah.
In a burst of irony, his blood like flips over me, and I'm covered in red from head to toe.
Oh yeah, you will be definitely covered in red from head to toe. The other cultists around you just flee, seeing their hero killed immediately in that way. And as you said, you can hold aloft his decapitated head.
Yes!
I'm going to let everyone can now get a recover a wrath point.
Ooh,
Everyone can
yes.
recover a wrath point.
Nice.
that's what we need.
And the troops below you are rallied and begin surging up the walls towards you. And aware of time, I want to wrap up fairly rapidly this last bit.
I feel like we've done good success there. That from a landing to taking this position. I
Yeah,
feel
well,
like,
we're incredible at this point.
yeah.
Yeah, all that would have happened is that I'd get to the top and go, I catch, and I'd have thrown my whole knitting bag with all the grenades at that person. That's all that would have happened.
You can just launch grenades into the fleeing cultists.
Well,
I
guess I'd be like that. I go, another time. Let's put them
Wait,
there.
is your grenade bag like a granny square bag?
1,000%.
Like-
Yeah, it's got all my bits and pieces in it, and it's just like here's the big pocket full of all the frags.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I was like, oh, you got it, Rhea. You got it. You didn't need me.
When you throw them, I picture it like worms as well. You're just like,
Yeah.
oh, natter.
Catch,
Right.
catch.
So, from the top of the breach, you can see the rebels abandoning their positions and fleeing into depths of the hive. To your left and right, Imperial troops pour round after round of las fire into the fleeing foes. Within the spire, the bells begin to toll. They sound like the bells of Imperial shrines calling the faithful to prayer. So before you is an open plaza, and in the middle of it is a huge statue, and around it there are administratum buildings, and the spire is obviously it's multi-layered, and so as you look up there are just you're looking up into an inner chamber that goes up for many hundreds of levels within the hive that brings down natural light into the hive. Any other electrical lumens within the hive are on emergency power and giving off kind of a real dirty orange light and barely illuminate the darkness beyond. Everywhere you look, there are signs that the Imperium has been desecrated. Aquilas are hung upside down. Statues of saints and heroes have been beheaded or have had their heads covered in sacks. Banners and graffiti read, "He has fallen and we will rise." From within the from the darkness, two civilians and a servitor emerge from a shattered building and dash towards the Imperial lines. And as they do so, rebel gunfire from a sniper cuts them down. One of the civilians is dead, and the other ducks behind the plinth of the central statue in the plaza. More las fire kicks up puffs of dust just centimeters away from them. This poor civilian frantically waves towards you, asking for help, while trying to get their mindless servitor into cover. Right, what do you want to do? Do you want to try and rescue them? Or do you want to focus on your own mission?
No, I'll try.
You want to try? Okay.
Yeah. No. If I can try and rip some piece of scenery up, so I've got some kind of shield from the lasgun fire, that'd be awesome.
Okay. So yeah, you've got no smoke grenades, so you can't use that. Let's
And Raph,
see.
for a narrative thing, if there's a handy sheet of
yeah.
metal or something, you could.
Yeah, I've got two Roth. So perhaps there is something like a heavy piece of industrial steel.
Yeah,
that I can
you
just
can
sort
do
of
that.
Pick up and.
So we will say you use a wrath point to do your narrative declaration. So yeah, you pick up a part of the remains of the gates and you lug it along las fire pattering off it as you get closer and closer to the statue. And once you reach it, the poor civilian sat shaking and cowering in the shadow of the statue looks up at you as if you were a saint that's come to their rescue. But so what do you say? What do you want to do? What's your orders?
Back up with me.
But the snipe, they'll shoot us.
Move, civilian!
Right, there we go. Right. So let's say it is any attempt to use deception. So that's a leadership test. And I will make it difficulty 3 because you have the cover. It would normally be difficulty 6 if you would convince them to run across the courtyard to you while you give covering fire, but you're not doing that. Though, of course, Crystal, you're in the best position to give covering fire while this is going on, right?
I can totally do that.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a difficulty 3 then for convincing the civilian to follow you.
Yes, I was planning to shelter the civilian with my shield.
Excellent.
Well, that's one success.
Oh.
So the only thing I can do is spend my last wrath point and pray that I get 6.
Do it. Yeah.
Do it.
Oh no.
It's just a normal success, so that's
two successes. Okay, what happens then is they begin to follow you. Again, las fire being traded between the sniper and you, as it hits the sheet of metal, with Tess firing back, trying to prevent them shooting. The civilian's nerve breaks as you're about halfway across, and they try to run back to the statue, at which point the sniper catches them and kills them. The last bolt hitting them square in the chest. Right, because of that, I will say, well, you don't get anything negative and you don't get anything positive either way. So you made your attempt. Tess, you can make another las shot. Then it will require you a difficulty 4 to hit.
Okay. Let's see.
Well, actually, let's see if you actually hit them first before the person dies. If you get this, it could win. It could end good.
Come on, Tess.
So
right yeah,
I got a 4, a 6, and a 6 on my wrath die.
so that's a glory point back, and it's a critical hit against the sniper. So you can roll on the critical hit table a D66.
Okay.
Nice.
So you roll your wrath die as 10s and a regular die as units.
That's going to be a 15.
15.
Ooh.
Oh, that's fine. That's a headshot.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's my second headshot.
That's a headshot.
Nice.
The sniper's dead. You thought the civilian was dead, but they were only merely clipped by the last shot. And you go back towards them, and they are alive. And you drag them with you back to cover. The civilian is gives prayers of thanks to you, claiming that you must be one of the saints reborn, or that you were at least blessed by them. Once safe, the civilian explains their name is Brom, and that the servitor they have with them, designated 9F8F8, has a collection of maps of the hive spire, and may well be of use to you. And they were basically, it was the plan of Brom and his friend who died, Mads, to bring this information to the Imperial lines. So that was our plan once we heard the tank's breach. It's been mad in the spire. It's been 3 months since they sealed it, mourning for the death of the Emperor. My brother, who was a member of the Ministorum, they killed him. They killed him because he would not go along with this heresy. There was members of the ecclesiarchy, members of even the enforcers who supported this lockdown. And then, 2 weeks into it, they began killing the nobles. Many of them were thrown from high above down this very chamber, landing to their death on the statue itself. And now, well, you fought the one with the claw. His name was Kravax. You killed was leading the lower levels, while a witch wielding strange sorcery now controls the upper levels. Her name is Raurok. They ordered most of us to stay within our quarters during working hours, and worship has been replaced by the mourning of the Emperor and preparations made for his resurrection. And the bells were told to call us to prayer. Food was to be distributed, and many people were thinking of trying to leave the hive spire the moment we heard the your forces arrive.
You've done well. You got out. You've done no duty.
Right. And I am going to say, with the amount of time we've got left, with that information and with the maps that you have, you get final orders that come through on the data slate. Your orders are to reinforce this position, hold the perimeter until further notice. That you can't get any tanks up onto the main line, and so troops are by hand clearing a route and bringing sandbags up onto the ruins of the gates. Also, you and other fire teams are given 20 meters of razor wire to set up to form the perimeter. And also you are given 2 remote mines and a detonator to put in place. So, Ophelia, you've got some remote mines to use.
Yes.
And you basically have to set about making, digging in and setting up an emplacement.
Excellent. I'll get on with that.
Hear that, lads and lasses? They shall not pass.
That's a good
Absolutely.
catchphrase. Use it more often.
Someone should say that in a film or something.
Yeah.
What a historical event.
As you're doing this, you could hear intermittent las fire within the hab blocks deeper into the hive. And every so often, many of the Penal Legion, they fire back, but it's infrequent gunfire. And soon enough, the tanks have rolled up behind you and are on the crest of the rubble. And from within the hive, there is the sounds of fighting and screams. Rain has now begun to patter outside before a torrential storm of acid rain begins to fall and the winds pick up. And of course, because the air and atmosphere of this dead world is so charged, a thunderstorm kicks up, and every so often a crack of lightning illuminates the plaza. And of course, throughout all this, the bells are continuously tolling. As you're setting up your position, Sergeant Doughty calls out to you. Get over to that trailer and take your supplies. Establish a position and Set yourselves up there. I want you dug in and secure in no more than an hour's time. This isn't done yet. And he then moves over to the next fire team, issuing orders. Before long, refugees begin to emerge from the shadows of the hive. You've obviously been training your las guns or long las out onto the plaza, waiting for whoever to emerge. Of course, there's no sniper fire, and it's clear that the figures emerging are emaciated and starving, and emerging looking for help, crying out prayers to the Emperor, looking for salvation.
They're not
Okay.
allowed to cross our lines, are they?
That's a very good point. So yeah, how do you want to deal with this? Do you want to basically set up like a position where they have to be, go through a checkpoint?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is either going to be an intimidation or leadership test to order the refugees through the lines, and that's going to be difficulty 2.
I can give it a go with intimidation.
Yeah, shout at them. Just stand there with a prime grenade.
Yeah. Ah. Alright. Sorry. I'm guessing there's no glory in the glory pool before I roll.
That's 1 point of glory.
Cool. Ah, it's fine. I don't need it. 1 success.
Okay, so no, the refugees ignore your orders.
Ah!
They're ignoring everyone else,
Stop.
and they're streaming forth. And it's getting a bit panicky as they're moving past, trying to pick their way through the gaps in the razor wire. And
Yeah.
no, go on, what do you want to do?
Back, and those ration packs that I picked up earlier. I'm gonna start throwing them back so people have to.
Oh wow,
go
yeah,
back to pick
they
them
go
up.
mad for it. They start grabbing for the ration packs and stopping where they are, which basically holds up everyone else. And
Very good.
there's a fight
Good work.
breaks out over the rations, but it does mean you get a chance for them to slow down and that you can funnel them through a
Yeah.
position in the lines.
That was good, yeah.
Yeah, and keep your guns on them just in case any cultists trying to sneak in.
Yeah. Ophelia's just shouting, "Remain calm!"
that's-
She's holding a grenade.
Even that being slowed down, you begin to see that they get bunched up as more and more refugees pour forth from the hive blocks, and screams go up as clearly people are getting crushed. Let us through! Let us through! Empress Teeth, have mercy! More and more screams, and then it becomes a panic and like almost a ripple of people, as if they were a wave of, as fellow refugees get crushed under the mass of people moving forward. And it's at that point all the lights in the hive finally go out.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, with the panic setting in, voices, and the screams of the citizens rushing forward past through the barricades, you can hear people getting, landing painfully on the razor wire, and it is proper chaos.
With a small C, right?
Right, you need to make a awareness. All of you need to make awareness
No.
checks.
No. Oh,
Could have got some
no.
points in awareness, it turns out.
Okay.
No,
1 success.
nothing.
Nope, and I got a 1 on the wrath die.
Oh God,
Oh.
Tess is shanked in the dark.
Yes.
A 1 on a wrath die. Okay, that's going to be a point of ruin. Okay, so who failed? Okay, you and anyone that got anyone failed with the
Only got
wrath
1.
die.
Just got
Okay.
1 success.
And well, yeah. So anyone that got no success, well, didn't get enough successes. In the confusion as the stream of refugees pour forth, you are almost like swept up in the mass, And before long, you have no idea where you are on the battle line, as you're just stuck in amongst people, clutching your weapon, trying to figure out where you are and make it back to the rest of your team. So you now count as hindered. Unsure I'm facing and are hindered until they make a combat action or make a. So you're going to need to make another successful awareness test to figure out where you are. Or use gunfire to get people to move away from you.
Yeah,
Yep.
the second bit, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. As you do that, screams go up, but of course it leads to more panic, people being crushed. And as you do so, you're able to make your way back to your position and hunker down behind the sandbags as people just move past. Again, as they get to the top of the crest of the rubble, begin to spill over it, and again you just hear the crunch of people being, pressed into the dirt by their fellow refugees. You've also, at this point, because of the darkness, you flick on the torches on the end of your las guns to illuminate anything before you. So now it is going to be another awareness check.
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty 5 again, as you're looking at the crowd of refugees that are rushing towards you.
No,
One
absolutely not.
success.
Oh. No, I got a 6 on the wrath die.
You got
That's my
6?
only success.
That's it. Okay, so not enough successes. Okay. As that's happening, you can hear more and more screams in amongst the population, and figures are just like slumping over the razor wire, and as one gets pushed over your sandbags and lands crumpled before you, you realize in horror that it's not a refugee. Its skin is bloated and greenish and covered in boils and has various bony protrusions growing out from it. It doesn't even look human. Are you going to just bring your chainsaw down on its head?
Yep.
Yep. As you do so, its boils pop and you sever its head, and there's just a very vile, disgusting, rotting smell coming up from it. And you realise that from everything you've heard of and learnt of before, this is clearly a victim of one of the ruinous powers of vile plagues that corrupts and infects humans. To your horror, as you then look out over the mass, your torches illuminate a mob of these infected hive dwellers lurching towards you.
Oh, no, it's time
Everybody
for the
needs to die.
Yeah.
knitting
yeah.
bag.
Yeah, this is where we take
Cleansing fire! Frag grenade!
Frag grenade straight onto the poxwalkers. Go on then.
Yeah. This is where we go out in an explosion of flames.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
gonna do it with the cracked satchel as well.
In fact, is it possible for me to use the all-out attack option here to get an extra +2? Or
Yeah, you can do that. It will mean you won't have any defense. You get -2 defense until next to your turn, so they're going to get a free strike against you.
It's probably fine. Oh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
And what are you firing?
It's frag grenade.
You're just using the frag grenade. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So that's definitely hit. Shift any successes to damage.
Yeah, so that's 1 I can shift. So frag grenade is 10 damage plus 3, 4. Whoa. Oh man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5 extra damage. That's 15 in total.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, that
Nice.
just lands in amongst that
Fuck you.
that group of poxwalkers, and they are ripped apart. Plus any refugees near them. It's just an absolute bloody mess that happens, and causes more panic and screams. But it does open up a gap. And beyond that blast, you can see even more poxwalkers emerging and heading towards you.
I think this is where the flame gun is
Yes.
going to come into handy.
Unfortunately, it's not quite as if it was a flamer, it'd be even better. But I'm going to basically charge it maximum and use it as an arc, basically, to try and cut through as many as possible.
Nice work,
Crass
yeah.
realizes at this point we're going to die. We just need to take as many as we can out, I think, at this point.
Mhm.
So he's just going to literally pump it to maximum and just start firing it at everything that comes near, human or poxwalker.
Ooh.
And I'll roll that. 4 successes.
Okay, that's definitely a hit. And
Yeah,
then
no 6s, unfortunately. I'll do the extra dice and I'll let you know how much damage I basically do to people and poxwalkers before I gun. Oh, nice. So 19 damage it will do altogether.
wow,
Nice.
you literally just fire it and it just blasts through as many people behind that poxwalker. It's just a long line
Yeah.
that's
Very
melted
cool.
into, just a line of melted flesh. Essentially, it's a bloody mess. Excellent. Right, as you do that, more of your tanks arrive behind you, rumbling behind the line, and activate their headlights and spotlights, illuminating. And then it becomes really clear that there's where the line of refugees just turns into a mixture of refugees and poxwalkers, and then even more of them. And it's just a whole kind of sea of these mutated, infected hive dwellers. The chimera that you arrived in originally, piloted by Rosalie, pulls up behind you, and the heavy bolt, is it? No, it's not heavy bolt. What's it got? It's got a
Multi-laser.
It's got a multi-laser. It starts firing into the crowd, but it's also clear. It's really just popping 1 or 2 poxwalkers, and from the illumination, you can see there is one poxwalker that's got strapped to it various big bags, and in amongst it, you can definitely see what look like, explosives. And it's shambling towards your position.
Can I headshot it?
Wow. Yeah, you could try it.
for
Yeah.
100%.
It's going to be difficulty 4 because the cover is other poxwalkers.
Yep. So 1, 2, 7.
7.
I got
So 7 successes.
I got 2 6s and 3 other successes.
Nice. Very
Wow.
cool.
Okay, so you've got enough, and you could most probably put.
Or would I be able to time it so I could set off those explosives to blow
I
up as
think
many?
that's perfectly. I think that's perfectly fine with that number of successes. You could basically just say that you fire it and you catch the explosives, and
Nice.
you blow apart that poxwalker and a whole lot more of them around it. The blast is for yards around and throws people everywhere and body parts. With all this firing and the multi-laser firing on the Chimera, eventually, you begin to clear the poxwalkers away, and even the Lemurus battle tanks, with the hail of heavy bolter fire, begins to thin out their lines, and so the refugees that had fled past can be, calmed and panic, stopped, and order restored.
Both of them.
A commissar riding on top of one of the in one of the Lemurus battle tanks looks down. Get in and man those. Get in that chimera and man that gun. I want as many of these poxwalkers dealt with as soon as possible. You are with that order. You take the servitor with you because it has the maps, and you are able to patch into it and begin to get the maps out of it. And I'm going to say that will be the end of it. With the amount of time we got left, I think we can wrap up there because the rest of it's pretty much going into the main hive, and there's not too much more there to be said. But essentially, you roll out with the Chimera and heading towards your next objective, which would be the Lumen Sanctum, which is a cathedral inside, in which once you reach there are ragged banners bearing the 8-pointed star of chaos and the triple buboed symbol of Nurgle.
Yay!
Inside of the building is a winding maze of corridors and simple switchboard workstations, and with the aid of other guardsmen and the Chimera, you're able to blast your way through, and eventually set up a new position so that reinforcements can arrive. But that is the scenario of the Bloody Gates. We can say that you did pretty well. You got through there with some creativity. If I was awarding experience points, you would have got an XP for dealing with. No, you didn't. They didn't surrender. You didn't give them a chance. You killed them. You would have got 2 XP for destroying the gunning placements. You would have got some XP from talking to Father Durden and then killing him. You would have got some XP for rallying the fire team. You would have got some XP for preventing some of the deaths of the broken and ensuring the Lemurus battle tank got through. You would have got some XP for saving lives and for rallying the assault and defeating Carax and saving Brom. And then XP for saving the Poxwalkers. So actually you did pretty well with it, and quite creatively and rather in character. I think we got to learn this a lot about this last chances, as they were, looking for fame and glory. Right, how do you think that went? What did you enjoy most? What was any highlights for you?
I personally enjoyed being a 40k nerd, being able to execute anyone who badmouthed the Emperor. No, but I do think that actually does give a whole. I think it's a good scenario for highlighting the fact that when you're playing the Imperium in 40k, you're playing the baddies.
Yeah.
Which is an essential thing to highlight in 40k, that you are the baddies.
Yeah.
If you're playing the Imperium.
Are we the bad guys?
We really are.
I mean, we are the bad guys.
Fascistic symbols and skulls. So I think
Crystal
that it's a
and
good scenario to show you that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done I think we did a podcast something about that. It's like the heroism of the Imperium is relative. So what you did is heroic relative to the fact that the things you're fighting and the levels of depravity and evil that is the alternative. You're heroes of a sort, but there is a hideous cost to your heroism, which is the point. But also, the relative point of that heroism is, by our eyes, you're horrific. You're not heroes. You're monsters in that respect. Cool. Anyone else? Any highlights? Anything fun? Anything that you like about the system?
So
I think
I
being
really
on
like the. For me,
Go ahead.
it just felt really evocative of the 40k universe. You've got these like pools of smoke and the massive bloody gates and these huge mechanical things like stomping through the battlefield, and it just feels like that universe of constant war, which is supposed to be.
Yeah, like a lot of the combat, like I was basically treating most of the things you were fighting as like only having a single wound, because generally if you're on one-on-one combat with, say, like the guy with the claw or anyone else, then wounds matter. But when you're fighting mobs, it doesn't really matter. They're injured, they're pretty much dead. And again, that I think reinforces that death comes quick. Obviously, that's even scarier when you're dealing with Space Marines, because they can treat Imperial Guardsmen like yourselves as mobs and just clear you out in quite happily with bolt guns. But cool. Yeah, I was good, like having someone with a chainsaw go in there and rip people apart. Crystal, highlights?
I was gonna say being on the receiving end of a commissar rather than being the commissar
Oh yeah,
is very different.
playing a commissar who's there purely for the glory and gets a lot of gets, I guess, turned on by the violence is kind of scary. Because he did have that. I did go for that. Yeah, he really enjoys battle and sees it as something that is invigorating. That's kind of weird, but interesting. I'm sure there are many commissars like that. Fiona, highlights?
Yeah, just very quickly. I thought it's the second or third time I've started playing this game, and the ease of the system is really good. Like, it's just very straightforward once you get the hang of it and stuff like that. So in that respect, for me, it's like, oh, it's very straightforward, and it's not as intimidating as I thought it was at the beginning.
Yeah, we've got through plenty of the scenario. I think if we had another hour, or another good half hour, we would have got through the last little bit to tie up. But I think we got the most of the fun out of it, which is the main thing. And yeah, like going forward, one of you would have got to gun like the multi-laser and man that going into the horde of pox walkers. But you know, that's just a bit of fun with tanks. But yeah, we've done quite a few scenarios with just Imperial Guardsmen, and it's good fun. So yeah, I don't know, it'd be good fun to do in future return to this campaign and deal with the
next lot.
The Tempestus Scions and play some competent soldiers.
Well, you know they won't be as competent if we're playing them, let's face it. Like,
I've got to sign off, so can I do my sign off quickly? I need to go. So cheers, Chris. That was really good, and thanks everyone for playing. Listen to Realm of Fire podcast. That's where you find me.
And
we cover lots of Warhammer stuff.
And for everyone else, if you want to get in touch, Dark Days Radio at darkdaysradio@gmail.com. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course our Discord, and go to Dark Days Radio for the podcast and the Darkhammer podcast. We'll do another episode soon. I can't remember about what. I think it's mostly going to be something Age of Sigmar themed. Yeah, I'm pretty certain about that. But that's everything. Thank you to everyone for taking part and playing. And we'll say goodbye to everyone for now. So goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.